A live shot from the Goodyear Blimp. Sun Life Stadium ready to go. The Marlins are home for a 3-game series. The Fish, the Padres, and our 5th annual Fox Sports Florida Fantasy Auction brought to you by Tommy Bahama and your South Florida Ford dealers. Down on the field, the Marlins and the Padres getting ready to open up a 3-game series. The Padres come in first place in the National League West. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz along with Tommy Hutton. This is one of our favorite nights of the year. Great baseball game tonight. The Padres are a terrific story. The Marlins right now trying to get back to 500. And, of course, Tommy, we will be raising money for South Florida youth. The Marlins Community Foundation does such a great job, and this, one of their biggest events of the year.
Yeah, this funds so many things. It's really hard to get into everything, but the Florida Marlins Community Foundation over the years has funded so much for youth in South Florida. It's been unbelievable.
Yeah, Thanksgiving turkey, Christmas toys, all of those things, this is where the money comes from. Okay, let's talk about some of the big board items. This year, it's our Ford Big Board. Here you go. A Best Buy watch party. That's always fun because Billy and the Mermaids come along.
Hey, Rich, we'll be on that road trip to Washington.
And I want to come out and watch you play golf. And it's not just golf with you. There's a lot of other
There's
stuff.
so much more. We'll get into it.
Look who's going up in the Blimp this year. It's tonight's starting pitcher, Chris Volstad.
How about having dinner with a Hall of Famer, Andre the Hawk Dawson?
And you get a bunch of Hall of Fame stuff as well. The Fox Sports Florida Suite experience. You get the Fox Sports Florida Suite, and you'll get visits from the Hall of Famers.
You talk about a beautiful area, Tommy Bahama Treasure Key. It is absolutely tremendous.
New one this year, the Field of Dreams. 25 Bud Beach tickets for the 25th of July. And you watch the game, then you go in the clubhouse, and 25 of you can play on the field.
And Rich, look at number 9, Rum. Oh, no, there's much more than that. But I was just looking at Rum.
All right, if you're a NASCAR fan, and I know, Tommy, that you're a gearhead, you will love this one. All 3 NASCAR races for the Ford Championship weekend as the Marlins and the Padres. Now, we will bring you lots of baseball tonight, so let's talk about the Marlins and the Padres. Second time the Padres have been here, Tommy, and the Padres come in with an outstanding pitching staff and a good young lefty on the mound tonight.
This is a good ball club. Offensive numbers aren't that great, but they're doing it with pitching. The Marlins have never seen the left-hander, Clayton Richard. Chris Volstad has been a hard-luck guy. His last 4 losses, during those losses, the Marlins have scored just 7 runs. So he looks to pick up number 5 tonight.
Hey, Tommy, you want rum? We got rum. We're ready to go. When we get back, we'll go downstairs. The Ford Big Board will check in with Craig Minervini.
very much. As you said, I'll be on the field telling you about the baseball game. I can tell you one thing. Hanley Ramirez is in a good mood. He was passing out little candy snacks to all of our crew down here. So at least Hanley's in a good mood as the tough pitching Padres are in town for game one of this series, their second visit to South Florida this year. Important night for us as well for the fantasy auction, our 5th annual, and your host of the auction, Craig Minervini, will update you throughout the night on all the items up for bid. Craig? All right, Craig was having a little mic problem there, but as you saw, the big board behind him, and a lot of great items up for bid. Most of them, I should say, are Marlin themed. One that is not, but you could be interested in, is the NASCAR theme from Homestead Speedway. It is the NASCAR experience, the Ford experience down at Homestead. You get access to all 3 races, pit passes. That's the truck race, the Nationwide Series race, and of course the Sprint Cup race. You have meet and greets with the drivers, and a whole lot of fun down there at the Homestead Motor Speedway. In November, that is the final race on the NASCAR circuit for the season, where the champion, the season champion, will be crowned. I understand Craig's mic is working now, so we'll throw it up to him. Craig?
Hey, thanks, Frank. This is the place to be. Jennifer and Adriana, the Mermaids, are here. Big crowd as well. And most importantly, this board, look at the numbers going up already. We're up to $1,700 on the road trip with the Marlins. I'll get a chance to escort somebody. We'll go to D.C. and go on a trip around town. Field of Dreams experience is up to $2,000. Frank, you mentioned that NASCAR VIP Ford Championship Weekend experience. We only have an initial bidder so far. Phil Corey, Kelly will be working in and out, changing the numbers. We'll update you throughout the game. Boy, this is a lot of fun here tonight. Get a chance to jump in on these and watch a great game with us right here on Fox Sports Florida. We'll have the first pitch, and we'll be back to the big board, brought to you by our South Florida Ford dealers here at Sun Life Stadium. When we come back, it's time for ball game. The Padres and the Marlins, game 1, coming up when we return right after this.
In our Fox Sports Fantasy Auction, you can ride up in the blimp with Chris Volstad. How about that? And this is the lineup that Volstad will be facing. The San Diego Padres, one of the great stories in baseball, coming at 42 and 30. Tony Gwynn Jr. hot right now. He's in center. The Hairstons, there's Jerry at second. Adrian Gonzalez, incredible season right now. Scott Hairston in there as well. Chase Headley at third base. Will Venable in right. Yorvik Torrealba just off a suspension. Everett Cabrera just off the DL. And Clayton Richard just off the football field from Michigan.
Well, and this guy right here hoping to get a little support, Chris Volstad. The matchup tonight, he's going to have to be careful because the Padres have a number of players that will run. And he has to be careful if any of them reach base. If it keeps them off the bases, no problem.
Volstad delivers, first pitch, a strike, and we're underway. Tony Gwynn Jr. over the last 3 weeks has heated up. His average at .333. The Padres don't have a lot of weapons on paper, but together as a unit, they are very efficient, and they've got that big bopper in the middle of the lineup, Adrian Gonzalez.
Yeah, the amazing thing about Tony Gwynn, you see 229, but as you said, 333 over the last few weeks, so he's come a long way just to get to 229.
And Volstad buries a breaking ball. Now, Chris did not face the Padres when the Padres were here in April. That's right. San Diego from the West has come to South Florida twice already, and the Marlins have yet to get to Petco. That doesn't happen until we get to July. Struck him out. Fastball inside corner.
Great job, great pitch to freeze Gwynn on that fastball in the inside corner. Gets a little movement too with it. It came back. You see Gwynn starting to jackknife out of the way, but that ball found the corner. Yeah, this is the only National League game in action tonight. Everybody else is finishing up interleague play.
The Hairstons sandwiched around Adrian Gonzalez. This would be Jerry Jr., their father, and their grandfather, both big leaguers. And they find themselves both playing in San Diego. And Jerry Hairston has been a valuable asset for Bud Black. Versatile. He played shortstop when Everett Cabrera was on the DL.
Yeah, and he's slid over to play second tonight. Normally we'd see David Eckstein. He's fine. He's just getting a night off from Bud Black.
That's okay as far as the Fish are concerned because Eckstein kills the Marlins. Liner into right center field. Stanton is over. And Mike is there and makes the catch.
Rich, the problem is so does Jerry Hairston Jr.
So we'll take that as a positive. The Marlins get him out. And here comes the Marlins defensively.
Well, back home, it's going to be a short homestand, but we'll see how the defense sets up. Not many changes, no DH, so Jorge Cantu gets himself back in the defensive part of things. The outfield the same. There's Georgie over at third base. Gabby Sanchez, what a tear he's been on offensively, and Ronnie Paulino is behind the plate.
Now here is Adrian Gonzalez, who obviously is a tough man to get out. But you'd rather pitch to him with nobody on base, and Volstad has accomplished that. Gonzalez, of course, the first overall pick back in 2000 by the Marlins, sent to Texas in a trading deadline deal in 03. The Marlins got Ugueth Urbina, and he helped lead the Marlins to the World Championship. The Rangers ended up trading Gonzalez to the Padres, along with a good starter, Chris Young, for Adam Eaton and Akinori Otsuka. That was a dubious trade in Ranger history. You see the shift for Gonzalez. One-two curveball, and Gonzalez fights it off.
See, the thing about Adrian Gonzalez is Bud Black watches his ball club, and he's watched him play some very good baseball. They are fundamentally sound, do the little things. But the thing about Adrian Gonzalez, he is not, in my opinion, the same type of pull hitter that Ryan Howard is or Adam Dunn is. He's a guy who's going to hit 300. He's 311 coming into this game, and he will drive balls the other way.
And I think that's why the Marlins don't have the full Monty on at this point, with Hanley behind second base. And remember, it's usually Cantu who comes over the bag.
And the oddity is the outfield actually shades him a step or two to left center.
Pulls one on the ground. Gabby waiting for it, and it's a foul ball.
So basically, if he pulls a ball, it's going to be on the ground. If he hits a ball in the outfield, it's got a chance to be a little bit the other way.
He's having a great June, hitting .407, 11 doubles, 7 homers. He's driven in 20 runs this month. His on-base percentage this year, over 400. Chris tried to get a strike there. Laz Diaz is calling balls and strikes. John Hirschbeck, Wally Bell, and James Hoy are your umpires for this 3-game series. He got him. Paulino holds on. Volstad strikes him out. And a 1-2-3 inning. We're underway in South Florida. Clayton Richard, Chris Coughlin is hot. Gabby Sanchez is even hotter. Hanley's hit in 5 in a row. Jorge Cantu in the cleanup spot. Dan Uggla second. Cody Ross in center field. Leading at home, Ronnie Paulino has hit in 9 of 10. Mike Stanton's in right. He's in the 8th spot. Chris Volstad hits 9th. And here is Coughlin against a solid lefty in Clayton Richard.
Yeah, the Marlins only have video to go by. No one's seen Clayton Richard before. And he's part of a staff, good off-speed pitch there. The Padres lead the National League with a 3.07 earned run average.
That is the strength of the San Diego club. And a lot of people keep waiting for San Diego to fade, and it hasn't happened yet.
It's got to be nice when you're a left-handed pitcher and he just paints the corner, gets the call from the home plate umpire, Laz Diaz. Chris didn't think so. But I was going to say, it's got to be nice. You're a young left-handed pitcher, and your manager, a very experienced, tremendous career left-handed pitcher in Bud Black.
I guess it's no surprise that the Padres are built around a solid pitching staff, an outstanding bullpen, a very good closer, and good defense if you've got a manager like Bud Black. Here's Gabby Sanchez, and Gabby takes a fastball up. Gabby red hot in Baltimore, 8 of 13. He's hit an 8th straight. His last 5 have all been multiple hit games.
Well, he now leads National League rookies batting average, hits, doubles, and total bases.
Takes the 2-0 pitch outside. Those are his streak numbers, 472 in the 8 games. Hanley's on deck. Richard delivers. And it's down low. Oh, my goodness. He called it a strike. Is he kidding?
It's not automatic. You know, some umpires 3-0 think it's automatic. I don't need Fox tracks. I do not need Fox tracks to tell you that was not even close. I can't believe that it was. Well, I don't believe Fox tracks on that one.
That's amazing. 3-1. And that's a strike.
Boy,
as
this
well.
is a tough at bat because you mentally you've gotten out of it on that call, and now you have to get right back in it. And you have a pitcher out there who's going to try to make a good pitch.
There he is. Richard now with a 3-2 coming to Gabby. Gabby takes a hack at it and fouls it back. Yeah, mentally, you're not real sure what to think. Will the umpire give you a borderline pitch from this point on? Or, since he called that a strike, is it going to be a strike again if it comes up there? 3-2.
Now he makes you chase one that's not because you're just not sure. That's a frustrating at bat, and Gabby's going to have to regroup before his next time. The glare of Edwin Rodriguez managing for the first time here in this ballpark.
And that's another storyline in this ball game. The Marlins interviewing a couple.
Here's the defense. Scott Harrison, Tony Gwynn, Will Venable in the outfield. Chase Headley, Everett Cabrera back off the disabled list at short. Harrison Jr. at second. Adrian Gonzalez. Yorvi Torrealba is behind the plate. Good defensive ball club. They don't make too many mental errors.
Here's Hanley Ramirez, and he takes a strike. Hanley's hit in 5 straight. He had a home run in that series against the Padres, and that one is inside.
Well, the last start for this left-hander, Clayton Richard, was a 5-4 loss to the Orioles.
Adam Jones hit a home run against him.
They gave up 8 hits and 5 runs in his 6 innings of work. See the scouting report, what it has on Clayton Richard. Sinking low fastball in the 90s. Second pitch is that changeup, and we've seen a couple of good ones already. He was a backup QB, played a few downs for the University of Michigan. Then he realized there was a guy named Chad Henne ahead of him.
Hanley rips one into left field. So the Marlins have their first hit. Cantu is coming up.
And Hanley keeps his hitting streak alive in 6 games now. Gets that pitch out over the plate. And lately, with the exception of a few at-bats, he had that tough at-bat last night against Jason Birkin on those sliders. But with the exception, Hanley has had some pretty good swings over the last week.
The Hanley at first. Richard delivers. Cantu takes inside. Been a struggle for Jorge. He had a couple of hits, including a home run in Baltimore, but his average has dipped to 266. Still 48 RBIs. That leads the Marlins. And the fastball got by him. It's 1-1.
Richard, one of the young pitchers that came over in that Peavy deal for the Padres, trading the salary of Jake Peavy and acquiring some young pitchers.
You got 3 other players, including Richard.
Boy, it's a real borderline balk move at first base. Even Hanley's looking at first base umpire John Hirschbeck.
And Richard misses down low. Count 2-1 now to Cantu. Ugla to follow. Marlins and Padres. And it looks like Richard has adjusted his delivery of the plate for the last couple pitches, and both times he's missed low.
Yeah, really slide stepping and not giving Hanley much of an opportunity.
3-1. Cantu turns on it. Headley across the diamond in time. So an inning in the books. We'll update you on the big board. We'll get you ready after this. Give you an idea of what's on the Ford big board and the mini board. We go to Craig Minervini. Hey, Craig.
Hey, Rich, the bargain of the night. Right now, hard to believe, but Tommy's unbelievable golf package. It's probably our fault because we haven't talked about it enough. Tommy, right now, look at the bargain. $600. Are you kidding me? Golf for 3. Join Tommy. That's a foursome lunch for the group. Plus 4 foursomes at 4 terrific area golf courses. A 2-night stay at the Inn on 5th in Naples. A tailor-made set of irons, courtesy of the Palm Beach Golf Center. We're not done yet. There's a lot of other giveaways. 24 golf balls, honorary inside the rope tickets for the Allianz Championship in Boca Raton next year. Golf with Jeff Conine coming up, perhaps. Look at that deal. Tommy, 600. We got to talk about it more. The board's up to 2,000 on Field of Dreams Experience, 2,000 on the road trip with the Fish. 305-626-7218. Guys.
Yeah, I have confidence in the golfers out there that that thing will go up.
Last year, I think it went for over $5,000. Here's Scott Hairston, and he takes a hack at a Volstad breaking ball and fouls it back. I mean, that total right there, Tommy, is crackers. That's not enough.
Absolutely. And anytime it's crackers, it's not enough.
No. One of the plot lines going into this series, Edwin Rodriguez, of course, the interim manager. Ken Rosenthal on FoxSports.com is reporting that the Marlins will interview both Rodriguez and Bo Porter, former third base coach for the Fish and current Arizona Diamondback third base coach, along with Bobby Valentine. And so this weekend, there could be another manager of the Florida Marlins. Cantu fires across the diamond. For now, though, it's Edwin Rodriguez. And he is 1-1 as a skipper in the big leagues.
Well, he got so many wonderful congratulatory messages from people in Puerto Rico, from politicians, from family, from friends. And it was a big moment for him and for Puerto Rico, being the first Puerto Rican to ever manage a game at the major league level.
Here is Chase Headley. A liner over Hanley's head into the gap. Coughlin had cut it off, and Chase Headley has singled. One of the great packages that we have is the Andre Dawson Hawk experience. Of course, a Miami legend is going into the Hall of Fame. Part of the deal, here you go, you get dinner for 4 with the Hawk at his restaurant. I don't know if you've ever been to the Mahogany Grill, but the food there is fantastic. That is Hawk's restaurant. You will dine with him. He will also sign 4 Hall of Fame baseballs for you. These are special edition Hawk baseballs, and then you get 4 tickets to the Andre Dawson Tribute Luncheon at the Intercontinental Hotel in Miami. Craig, how is that package doing?
Not too badly. Is it the clubhouse leader or on the course still? Colleen Morrell at $700 is the leader right here so far. And it's fun to watch these numbers change.
You know, and also part of that package, 4 tickets to the Marlins Owners Suite for a 2010 regular season game and batting practice passes.
Oh, so but you get batting practice as well?
Yeah.
Now, here's the baseball,
This
Tommy.
is outstanding.
This is the special ball. That's the Hawk insignia. There's his signature, and there's the special Hall of Fame. It's the only guy going in this year. You'll get 4 of these, and that's pretty special for a Miami legend. Throw to first, and a good move by Volstad.
This is where Chris is going to have to really watch because, as I mentioned, you've got Gwynn with 13 stolen bases. Headley has 9. Venable with 14. So you have a lot of guys with pretty good speed, guys who know how to run the bases.
Well, as we told you, it's not a team with a lot of boppers in it, and they have to be creative in how they score runs. And they do that with speed. They do that with great situational hitting. And then, of course, Adrian Gonzalez will hit a 3-run homer every now and then.
Bud Black, 4th year in his managerial stretch with the Padres.
That one fouled back to the screen. Venable, he's a second-generation guy.
Yeah, 3 of them in the lineup tonight.
His dad, Max, played 12 years in the big leagues.
4 of them, excuse me. I'm not counting both Hairstons.
That's right.
And Tony Gwynn Jr. and Venable. To me, that's no surprise that this club knows how to play the game the right way.
Because you've got a bunch of guys that grew up in Major League clubhouses.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Well, you think about who their fathers were as well. Gwynn, of course, in the Hall of Fame, a great hitter and a extremely smart player. And then you've got Jerry Hairston, who was a scrappy player.
He had a good career.
Very versatile guy, a lot of speed.
Yeah, Max Venable.
Very similar as well. Venable, when he, to stay in the big leagues, he had to play all over the place. Three-two count to the Padres right fielder. Lines it up the middle, back through the box and into center field. Cody picks it up, and stopping at second is Headley. And so the Padres, who come in having taken 2 of 3 from the Rays, have a couple runners on here in the second.
Pretty good breaking ball, good curveball by Chris Volstad, but a nicer swing by Will Venable up the middle. The area, Rich, that has been a struggle for Chris Volstad, if you look at his starts this year, only 2 times this year, and this is his 15th start, only twice has he gone 7 or more innings. And both those times he won. The rest of the time he's gone less than 7 innings. And actually both of those wins were against the Nationals.
His last start was a wild one. Not necessarily by Chris, he just walked 1. But that was the game in which the Marlins bullpen walked 11 in 5 1/3 innings.
Can we refer to that as the Vuvuzela game?
Yes. Diving stop, Cantu struggles to his feet, got the out there, crossed the diamond, and they won't get the out at first. Great play by Jorge Cantu. He gets the lead runner, Headley, and he saves extra bases as Yorvik Torrealba pulled it and hit it well.
Boy, he did. This is just a great play to keep this ball from getting down that line and into the left field corner. A lot of trouble if that happens. But Jorge Cantu is able to get it in the webbing and then at least get an out. He tried to throw it over to first base, but there really wasn't a chance for 2. Nicely done by Jorge Cantu, who's back out there defensively now.
After getting 3 days as the DH, Everett Cabrera coming off the disabled list. The switch hitting shortstop out of Nicaragua. He is 23. Very close to Costa Rica. Popular vacation destination for many on the broadcast crew.
I think last Tuesday we got an email from Juan in Costa Rica. Yeah. Cabrera is having one of those years where he's had a nagging hamstring injury. Twice he's been on the disabled list with the same hamstring.
And you can tell it's affected his numbers. He's hitting just .212. Last year, his rookie season, Cabrera hit .255. Couple Padres on, couple outs here in the second. And a fly ball left field. Coughlin is there, makes the catch. Volstad gets out of trouble here in the second. Scoreless ball game. Max Tires help you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com. Scoreless ball game. Our Fox Sports Florida Fantasy Auction. We go down below to Craig Minervini. What's up, Craig?
Hey, thank you very much, Rich. Want to talk about the first item on our big board brought to you by our South Florida Ford dealers, and that's the Best Buy Marlins Watch Party. Anita Mills from Best Buy Margate is with us, donating, among other things, for this great package. Wow, a 50-inch Panasonic HD. It's the 720p television.
That is. It's a 50-inch TV, big size, to be able to watch the Marlins.
How popular is that item at Best Buy?
Panasonic TV is very popular. Everybody comes in to buy it. It's one of our hot sellers.
I know it's exciting for you guys to be involved here with the Marlins Fantasy Auction, huh?
Yes, we always like to give back to the community at Best Buy Margate. We always want to go out to the community, help out any way we can.
Well, it's good to see you. Thanks a lot. Again, the number 305-626-7218. The number is up to $800 there, and boy, is that a bargain. We didn't mention that Frank Ford stops by. That's got to be worth, guys, what would you say, $300 to $500 just to get Frank at your house?
Yeah,
right?
Frank doesn't come cheap.
That's a minimum appearance.
Yeah, at least for Frank, yeah.
So he'll be there
and more if he
Watching
speaks.
the Marlins is great, live with a big TV. That is great.
All right. Thank you, Anita.
Yeah, always looking for a little something for the effort, you know, guys.
Frank, you went to that last year. Tell us what happens at one of those deals, because Billy and the Mermaids are there too, right?
Yeah, I actually went to 2 of them last year, and it was a lot of fun. In fact, Benito Santiago showed up at one of them. There's big screen TV. The food is great. The Mermaids, Billy comes, so if you're bringing your kids, they'll have fun with Billy, as Dan Ugla sends one high in the air to left field. But it's a lot of fun. It's just good times, good people, and we just enjoy the occasion.
Frank, shocking that you were there when the Mermaids were there, too.
That was shocking, wasn't it?
Does Billy
and food.
Does Billy behave himself at these functions?
I don't think I should comment on that. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. No, he's great.
There he is, Frank
That's
Ford.
a great time.
And it's catered by Gourmet Creations and event planners. They do a fantastic job. Right now, Clayton Richard is doing a fantastic job. Remember, he got that call on the 3-0 pitch to Gabby Sanchez. He would strike Sanchez out. Hanley would single. And now Richard finds himself with an out here in the second. And Cody Ross at the plate.
You know, he threw a pitch very similar to that, actually a little bit higher, to Dan Ugla, and it was called a ball. Ugla, by the way, just got under his fly ball. Just missed it by a little bit, hitting it out.
Cody Ross pulls that one foul. You were talking about Clayton Richard and the fact that he came over in the trade from the White Sox in the Jake Peavy deal. Peavy shut out the Cubs today, and that wasn't the real story. It was a 6-0 White Sox win over the Cubs. The story was a dust-up in the dugout between Carlos Zambrano and Derek Lee. Apparently, as
Zambrano got tattooed in that game a little bit early.
And he came off into the dugout, and apparently he and Lee had to be separated by Larry Rothschild and Alan Trammell.
Well, let's see. I'm taking D. Lee's track record and not Zambrano's track record on this one. Don't need to know anymore.
No Gatorade machines were harmed because they took it out. Remember last year, Zambrano took a bat to that.
Yeah, and that game, by the way, on the south side.
White Sox have won 14 of their last 15.
Boy, the only hotter team, the Texas Rangers.
The Marlins have run into both of those teams. Remember, the Fish dropped 2 of 3 in Chicago. That was just as the White Sox were starting to turn it around. And the Marlins got the Rangers as they were starting to roll. There's your phone number, 305-626-7218. Cody Ross lines it right center field. Gwynn going after it. In the gap, cuts it off. Cody round first, headed for second. He is in there with a double. Good scouting report. Good job by Dave Collins at first base. The Marlins know that Tony Gwynn Jr. does not have a strong arm in center field.
He can cover some territory, but doesn't have a real strong arm to get it back in. It's our checkers double of the game. It was Cody Ross at his best, staying back and driving this ball into right center. Look at his eyes on Gwynn. He knows that throw is not going to have a whole lot on it, which it didn't, and got himself to second base.
Now Ronnie Paulino, who is one hot Marlin, and of course feasts on lefties. Richard throws a strike.
I think, Rich, that's why one of the little subtle changes in the lineup by Edwin Rodriguez, because the lefty's out there, he wanted Ronnie in the number 7 spot. If he's hitting 8th, he might not see a whole lot to hit against the left-hand.
371 against lefties. I think if you were to take a poll and ask what's been the most pleasant surprise in the Marlins lineup this year, Gabby Sanchez and Ronnie Paulino would probably be in that poll.
They'd be at the top of the list.
Ronnie fouls it off. Count stays at 0-2. Richard is kind of sneaky fast.
Yeah, he's one of those left-handers that we talk about who has a good changeup, but then he also gets it 90-91. He's not an 85-mile-an-hour fastball changeup guy.
He had just 79 career minor league starts before the White Sox put him in their rotation. Paulino fighting pitch after pitch off.
Boy, look at those numbers this year. I think, you know, as you look at 371 against lefties, 270 against righties is a real nice improvement for Ronnie, and a lot of that is because he's been playing every day.
That one squirts away from Torrealba. Torrealba just escaped the wrath of Major League Baseball. He got a 3-game suspension in the Tampa Bay series.
Arguing balls and strikes, a no-no. Well, I should say a no-no. I guess you can argue. Can't argue as vehemently as he was.
Heck, the Marlins in the Roy Halladay game were arguing balls and strikes in a no-no. He's got the count even now, 2-2. Ronnie lines it into left field. Cody got halfway, and it lands in front of Hairston. That's a difficult play for Ross to read because of the depth that Hairston was playing. He wasn't playing real deep. It's a shallow left field to begin with the big wall behind him.
It was hit a little bit on the end of the bat, so you're also not sure how far this ball is going to carry. If it's cracked really well, it's going to carry the left fielder, but a little bit on the end of the bat. And so the slight hesitation, and no fault of Cody's, he can only make it to third.
You know, watching that replay, Tommy, I'm asking this question. If Cody is busting from the beginning, if he runs hard right away, do you think Hairston tries to dive and make that catch?
There's a possibility. So that's why you have to hesitate. See, he gets off like the lead. There's the look. Nah, just a little hesitation there, a couple of steps. And it's been tough to score on anyway because Hairston was coming in. Had his momentum coming toward the plate.
Mike Stanton now with a 1-0 count. Paulino at first.
Now this is a guy the Padres did not see on their last visit to South Florida.
He's in the 8th spot, which is not an easy spot in the order in the National League. Just ask Billy.
Billy in the steel band.
Richard goes over to first. Remember, the Marlins have that play, and they've done it successfully. It was with Cody Ross at third base, where the runner at first takes off. You probably wouldn't do it with Stanton at the plate, but keep it in mind when Volstad comes up. Torrealba took a foul tip.
It's been a battle for Mike Stanton.
Our Geico quote of the night. I'm doing okay. I'm not doing great. I'm not doing terrible, but I definitely could be doing a lot better. Kind of sums it up.
Kind of sums it up. He'd like to make a little contact here, though.
Let's see what he gets 1 and 2. Now you got a fastball, and that's been a pitch, believe it or not, the fastball that has troubled him most.
Yeah, and that's the last thing we would have thought. That's the 25th time now that Mike Stanton has struck out.
Craig Minervini is getting ready to unveil the mini board. There are some cool items on the mini board. Not as many big ticket items there, but the mini board will be unveiled shortly. So here's Volstead.
I can hear the drum roll now.
Good distance on that throw by Volstead.
Yeah, Mike Stanton, 25 strikeouts and 5 walks in his 14 games, this being game number 15. So he's got some ways to go, and that's really the pitch that we're surprised that he's swinging through, the fastball.
Volstead takes outside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Chris has 3 hits and has driven in a run. Cody is 90 feet away. Paulino is at first base, but there are 2 outs. So it's 1 and 2 now. Struck him out. Fastball. Clayton Richard has been sharp. So is Chris Volstead. The mini board when we get back. Some of the other items you can bid on tonight in our Fox Sports Florida Fantasy Auction. Craig?
All right, thank you very much, Rich. And here we go. Billy's been trying to open this for about 5 weeks. Okay, Billy, Marlin Mermaids, let's reveal. And here it is. The mini board items are now up for bid at 305-626-7218. You can go to marlins.com/fantasy. Make sure you put in marlins.com, folks, /fantasy for more details on all of our items tonight. $250 the starting bid here. Mike Stanton bat, authenticated and autographed game used ball from June 18th when he hit his first Major League home run, which turned out to be a grand slam. Coughlin game used autographed jersey. The Cody Ross experience. Enjoy a day with Cody. Play Ball Kids experience. That Super Saturday package with OAR. That's tomorrow. So you got to jump in on this and you go to the game tomorrow. 4 tickets, 4 pit passes, meet and greet with the concert, signed copy of their album, and much more. Part of the mini board items we'll be telling you about. Again, $250 minimum start, $50 increments on your bid. And here they are. And by the way, Bill, just back up a second. We'll see right now Road Trip of the Marlins at $2,500, $2,000 the Field of Dreams, $1,000 apiece for the Carnival Cruise, the Tommy Bahama Treasure Key Trip, and guys, the Andre the Hawk Dawson Experience.
Hey, the bowling with Cliff Floyd is one you might want to look at, because you get dinner at Bow Campers. How many is that the dinner for? There's
6, I believe.
Dinner for 6, and you get to go bowling with Cliff Floyd.
Yeah, that would be an experience right there, just see Cliff bowl.
Yeah. So bowling with Cliff Floyd. And
I think Cliff has been working with Nancy Olson, though, on his game.
Yeah, Nancy has instructed him quite well. Those are 2 pretty good bowlers. Dinner at Bow Campers for 6 people, and that's with Cliff Floyd. There's the number to call, 305-626-7218. And if you want a full description of all the items, mini board and the Ford Big Board, just go to marlins.com/fantasy. Volstad gets Richard, and now he sets his sights second time through on Tony Gwynn and Jerry Hairston. Gwynn was called out on strikes in the first. Pulled towards Ugla, and he throws the first. And Volstad has 2 quick outs.
You know, it's interesting in Chris Volstad's breakdown, his ERA at home is 2 runs better, a little over 2 runs better. It's a very respectable 3.22, but a 2-3 record. He's 2-3 on the road, same record, but his ERA on the road is 5.72.
Here comes Jerry Hairston Jr. He lined out to Stanton back in the first. The Padres were a team that was 75-87 last year. They got off to just an awful start. But in their last 62 games, they were 37-25, and that was the 3rd best record in the National League. They had 24 rookies that they used last year. There were 15 Major League debuts. And not a lot of people took notice when they had such a strong finish. Figured it was just kind of a fluke. But they haven't stopped winning to start this year. Look at the standings, 42-30. With the Giants rotation, everyone figured the Giants would catch them by now.
A lot of people jumped on the Dodgers.
With Jimenez and the Rockies and the wild card magic they've had the last season. But so far it's been the Padres, and with the pitching staff they've got in the rotation and the bullpen, the best in baseball in terms of ERA, you would think they're going to be in it for the long haul.
Well, you got 72 games, gives you a pretty good idea.
Great inning by Volstad.
Nice changeup.
11-pitch inning for Chris in the 3rd. We'll check in on the mini board. We'll check in on the Ford Big Board in a scoreless duel. Take your calls, any questions about the items, or to place a bid. There's our phone bank right there, 305-626-7218. 305-626-7218. Log on to marlins.com/fantasy. And there's the big board down below, and down below is Craig Minervini. Craig?
Well, I'm with the founding artistic director, and that's Lucretia Welters of the Jubilee Dance Theater. One of the recipients when you bid tonight, Where's your money going? What's happening? Who is being helped in the community? Well, Latricia can speak, at least on behalf of the Jubilee Dance Theater, to that. Good to see you. And tell me about that part and how this auction helps your company.
It's been wonderful. Jubilee Dance Theater is a non-for-profit multicultural dance company based in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And we have been wonderfully provided some services through the Marlins Community Foundation for scholarships for underserved students, our Diversity Mixed Dance Festival that we do every year. It's been a tremendous help, and actually to have a group today in this time, this economic time, to actually support our mission has been tremendous help. And it also gives our next generation of students something to look forward to, because today when you turn on the news, everything seems so downhearted, so much of a struggle. And to have organizations like the Marlins to help us out and to give these kids some inkling of hope, it's wonderful.
Enriching the community through the arts. I know the dancers must enjoy performing, just like the athletes out here enjoy performing, huh?
Yes. We're all athletes. We're all athletes, definitely.
Been a big difference, though, huh?
It has. It absolutely has. We have had children who have grown up through our program from 3 years of age, and some of them are now in college, and they've gone on, and they come back because the door is always open.
You on the field before the game, too?
Yes, I was. I actually received the Good Neighbors Award from State Farm. That was also a wonderful treat.
Like a good neighbor, Lucretia is here. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, that's good stuff. One of the recipients, guys, of the money we raise. We'll talk to more as we go throughout the night here. Back to you.
And there is the big board. The phone number again is 305-626-7218. The little board is open for business. You can already see some bid amounts on the little board. The Stanton bat seems to be a hot item. Karen is our little board wrangler there. 305-626-7218. All right, here's a good battle here. You got Coughlin with base-stealing speed, and Richard, who's been pretty creative with his moves.
By the way, a great interview there, Craig, talking to show you firsthand where a lot of the money goes from the Florida Marlins Community Foundation.
Marlins Community Foundation, so supportive of programs like the Boys and Girls Clubs of Miami-Dade and Broward. And Thanksgiving turkeys, Christmas presents, stuff like that. The Marlins Community Foundation does a great job of getting the funds out there. Coughlin was leaning, and he's out. We've talked about the move by Richard, and he picks off Chris Coughlin.
Yeah, he threw a little different move on Cogs that time, just barely a step, and it's so close. There are some umpires. Bob Davidson would call that a balk, for sure.
Where is Bob when you need him? Gabby takes down low.
But unfortunate, because good to get that leadoff man on. First time the Marlins have gotten the leadoff man on against Richard.
Marlins have had base runners in each inning. Gabby takes down low. Lexus provides us with our leaders of the game. Most pickoffs in the National League. Wade LeBlanc. And Clayton Kershaw's on that list as well. JM Lexus, price made us #1, 18 years running. Click jmlexus.com to find out how. What kind of move did Bud Black have when he was pitching?
I don't remember, but I think it was okay. I just don't remember.
3-1 pitch is high. Gabby finally gets that walk he thought he had in the first inning.
But interesting that a couple of Padres are on that list.
Our number again is 305-626-7218. The description of the items at marlins.com/fantasy. Now the bidding closes 10 minutes after the final out tonight. So we'll take your bids throughout the ball game. 10 minutes after the final out will be our countdown. And that's when things get really interesting. But you want to get your name up on the board. You want to get those items up there and get the price up right now and get yourself involved.
The thing, as you watch Clayton Richard work, the thing that he does so well, changes it up. He'll give you a different delivery to the plate. We've seen a couple of different moves over to first base.
Gabby not a real base-stealing threat, even from the Goodyear blimp. But he does have 3. Hanley stroked a single to left back in the first. And he takes a strike. We're report today from Tim Kirkjian that the Marlins and Bobby Valentine spoke over the phone. Valentine was not able to meet in person with the Marlins. That may take place over the weekend. And of course, Edwin Rodriguez continues to lead the club. The Marlins and the Padres are playing a 3-game series here. And then Sunday after the ball game, the Marlins head to Puerto Rico to face the Mets.
They get to see the knuckleballer the first game of that series, R.A. Dickey.
How does a knuckleballer do in the tropics?
In Puerto Rico, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, so far it's done pretty well for R.A. Dickey, 6-0 with a 2.33 ERA. R.A. Dickey, Hisanori Takahashi, and Mike Pelfrey. The 3 Met pitchers, Ricky Nolasco, Nate Robertson, and Chris Volstad, who's pitching tonight in that 3-game series against the Mets.
2-2 Hanley's way, and that's down low. Full count, 3-2. Marlins saw R.A. Dickey on Friday, June 4th, and he beat him 4-3. That was up in New York. Anibal Sanchez was the pitcher. There's the move that...
Yeah, see, that's a different move than he used to pick off Chris Coghlan.
What was different from that move than the other?
He lifted his leg a little higher. The one to pick off Chris was more of a slide step to first base. I guess the best way to describe it.
Hanley, same spot. Another base hit to left. So a single by Hanley. Cantu is coming up. One of our great packages. Fox Sports Florida has offered up the Fox Sports Florida Suite. Now, Tommy and I usually go in there and steal the food. But you'll have all the food you can eat, all the beer, all the pop, soda, water, whatever you want. 12 people go at that suite. You get to watch the ball game, and you get a dozen baseballs. You're going to need those baseballs because some Hall of Famers are coming by to see you. Andre Dawson will come by to see you.
And we promise we won't steal your food. Is that okay?
Tony Perez is coming to see you. Jeff Conine not only will come in and sign those baseballs along with those other 2, but Conine will also do a live hit, a live report on our telecast.
So when we say, hey, let's go to Niner will be down in the suite.
Yeah, and your entire group of 12, and you've been eating all you can eat and drinking all you can drink all day. Hopefully we'll get that report early in the day,
yeah,
like
quickly.
In the 3rd inning, and you'll be on television. So that's all part of that Fox Sports suite. Cantu right now, the count 1-1. Georgie bounced to 3rd, his first time up, and Richard misses outside.
A little wavering in his control. First time that Clayton Richard has not been sharp. Remember, he walked the leadoff man, Chris Coghlan, but he picked off Coghlan. Then he walked Gabby, and Hanley hit that sharp single to left.
65th pitch of the night is a strike to Cantu. So it's 2-2. Jorge stays alive and fouls it off. Cantu against lefties this year. His splits are pretty even. He's 254 against lefties, 270 against righties. Clayton Richard now with the 2-2. And he'll step off.
And he wants to talk to his catcher, Yorvit Torrealba.
He says, Yorvit, what did you do for 3 days when you were suspended?
Give me some love out here and tell me what you want me to throw.
That's one of the things that the Padres like about Torrealba is that as good a pitching staff as they have, Tommy, they still are pretty young. There's still some pretty young pitchers both in the rotation and in the pen. And having a veteran like Torrealba to call pitches, run the game is nice. Still 2-2. Cantu flips it foul, and he hangs in there.
These are the kind of swings and the type of approach we see a lot from Jorge Cantu when he gets in this situation with runners in scoring position.
Well, he certainly is making Richard work for it. Our Fox Tracks brought to you by Toyota. You see that last pitch, that's that borderline pitch that was called a strike.
When next pitch coming will be number 9 to Jorge Cantu, so he is really making Richard work.
Cantu hits it sharply. Cabrera gets it out there. The turn is clean. And the Marlins bounce into a 6-4-3 double play. Up business, scoreless ball game. Padres and Marlins. We're joined now by Don Kirkus, president of Tommy Bahama's men's group, and a friend certainly to the Marlins Community Foundation and one of our sponsors for the event. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm very, very happy and proud to be here. I've never been down on the playing field before, so this was a first for me, and it was pretty exciting.
No, we're happy to have you.
Did you get to throw out the first pitch?
I did.
How'd you do?
You know, I did as well as I had hoped to do. I threw it pretty much down the middle, and it got to the catcher, and it was a successful event.
That's all you can hope for.
That's right. That's right. So, yeah, very exciting.
Well, so far, the Marlins and the Padres are scoreless, and in the fourth inning, Chris Volstad goes to work on one of the best hitters in all of baseball, Adrian Gonzalez, and he fouls that one off. And this is the third year that Tommy Bahama has been involved in our Fox Sports Florida fantasy auction. We thank you for that. We also thank you for all the nice shirts that you deck us out in throughout the season. We're proud to wear the brand throughout Major League Baseball.
Well, we're proud to have you wearing the brand, and you look great in it, by the way.
I'll tell you one thing. We make a lot of other broadcasters jealous.
Well, it's a lifestyle that I think a lot of people like to be a part of.
There's a liner, and through the shift, Gonzalez bangs one up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Tommy Bahama has a number of not only gorgeous shirts, but a number of locations, not only South Florida, but all throughout Florida.
Well, you know, Florida is really where Tommy Bahama started. The guys that were the founders of this company kind of came up with the concept for Tommy Bahama while sitting on the beach in Naples at Bonita Beach, and this is our home. Mm-hmm. So we're very, very proud of being involved with the Marlins, and it's great to be a part of a Florida team because it is where Tommy's existence started, and we're proud of that.
Is there actually a guy named Tommy Bahama?
Well, there's a lot of guys named Tommy Bahama. I'm actually sitting between a couple of them because Tommy's a lifestyle, and you know, there's a lot of us out there that really enjoy to live in that lifestyle, and it's just a way of life, and Tommy created that.
Ground ball, left side and through, and the Padres have a couple hits here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, I can agree to that. You almost have that feeling of that lifestyle when you wear some Tommy Bahama clothes.
Well, we say that, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but our belief is life is one long weekend, and that's the way it should be lived.
And for you, getting involved in the South Florida community, I know has been important, and this is a way for you to do that.
It's a great partnership for us, and if you don't mind, I'm going to do a little advertising here if possible. But we're going to have an event for the Marlins Community Foundation. It's going to be on July 18th, and it's from 6 to 9. I think actually the two of you are going to be there, and I think a couple of the players from the Marlins are going to be there as well. And in 4 of our South Florida stores, we're going to be giving 10% of the business that we do that day to the Community Foundation. So we're very excited about that, and I think that that's going to be a very successful event, a big day for us.
We're calling that our after party, and it's the 18th of July. It's a Sunday night. All day on that Sunday, these 4 locations, Boca Raton, Coral Gables, the Las Olas location, and the Las Olas Relax location, 10% of all the sales from those 4 locations will go to the Marlins Community Foundation. And, of course, the after party is from 6 to 9 at the Las Olas location, which is our favorite haunt. Swing and a miss by Chase Headley.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be at the Las Olas Collection Store.
Well,
right?
We're just going to block off all of Las Olas.
Once we get close, we'll find it.
Go big or go home. So we're very excited about that. You know, when the guys that started this company started it, giving back was a big part of what we started out as and do today.
Not to interrupt, but when Chris Volstad strikes someone out, I'm contractually obligated to say, nice pitch on the outside corner.
Especially to get the first out of the inning with a couple of men on base.
We were in the Las Olas store today with our video camera. There's a look at it. In one of the great places in South Florida, in Fort Lauderdale. If you've never been to Las Olas, you're missing something. Great shopping and a couple of Tommy Bahama locations down there. Here's Will Venable. He singled in the 2nd. And he pops this one out behind Hanley Ramirez. Hanley's out there, and he makes the catch. And so Volstad has a couple of outs. We're visiting with Don Kirkus, president of Tommy Bahama Men's. I know that you guys are in with Major League Baseball now. I've seen some of these team Tommy Bahama shirts. And when will that Marlins shirt be coming online?
Well, I think there's a good possibility, based on the fact that I've seen the list of teams that are going to be up for us making shirts for them next year, and I think the Marlins are on that list. So we're going to make sure that that's a particularly great-looking shirt.
And you're going to make sure we're privy to those?
Absolutely. Okay. We'll make sure you get 2 of the first
privy,
5.
Does privy mean we get them? Is that?
We'll make sure that you get one each.
We can make it mean that.
You know, we only make about 500 of those shirts, so they're actually limited edition collector's items, and they're we give a few away to the team owners and guys like you. Nice.
You guys also have a very successful Tommy Bahama rum bar open in the new Yankee Stadium.
We do. We do.
That's a pretty success. And you were nice enough to bestow Tommy and I with a large bottle of Tommy Bahama rum.
Looks like it hasn't been opened yet. However.
Well, we're waiting for the first run for the
We're
Marlins.
working.
Okay. All right.
Once the Marlins get on the board, the rum starts flowing.
Now, is there any talk about anything like that in the new ballpark in 2012?
You know, we are having conversations. Right now, we're kind of watching and seeing how well our rum bar does at Yankee Stadium. So far, it's been very, very successful, and I think we're going to be selective, but I think there'll probably be a few new locations for us.
Seems like it'd be a good fit to me.
I think it's a great fit.
It'd be a great fit in our new broadcast booth in the new ballpark.
Maybe it could be connected to the Tommy Bahama rum bar / broadcast booth.
3-1 count here. Torrealba, and a good changeup by Volstad. Both pitchers, Tommy, have had to pitch out of a little bit of trouble here, and both pitchers have been able to do it.
Yeah, that was a good pitch just because of the count. Location, okay, but the fact that it was 3-1, a fastball count, he threw him a really good change.
All right, let's see what he comes with, 3-2. Fastball, and Torrealba fights it off and sends it into the seats. We love the island lifestyle, but it will be great in 2012 when we get in the air conditioning of the new ballpark downtown Miami.
That's going to be fantastic, isn't it?
It will be. 3-2. The Yorvie Torrealba. Big breaking ball back to Volstad. Makes the stop, flips to first in time. Don Kirkus, president of Tommy Bahama Men, thank you for your participation.
Gentlemen, my pleasure.
Thanks
for having me. It was a great time.
All right, crack open the rum. Let's go.
Let's see the right finish to this game.
Going to call 1-877-MAROONY. By Tobacco-Free Florida. Escape the addiction of tobacco. Be free. Visit FloridaQuitline.com. By South Florida Ford. Visit SouthFloridaFord.com for great offers. And by Florida Power and Light. Learn smart ways to conserve energy. Log on to FPNL.com and take a free online home energy survey. Our aerial coverage provided live by Goodyear. New Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com. There they are up above Sun Life Stadium as Dan Uggla hammers the first pitch he sees, scattering Padre relievers. And it's 0-1.
Well, we saw some terrific swings last night from Dan Uggla. Remember, last night in Baltimore, Dan was 4 for 5 at 3 RBIs. Just missed a pitch his first time up.
Uggla drives that one to right center field. Hits it pretty well. That's a deep part of the park. And Will Venable is there to make the catch. All right, let's go down below to Craig Minervini. Craig, how we doing?
All right, thank you very much, Rich. And here's a look at the board. Again, 305-626-7218. We're going to hit you with a couple of things. Best Buy Marlins Watch Party is up to $1,000. These are all tremendous bargains. I think that went for... What was it last year, guys? 8,000 number, the Best Buy? It was something like that. $7,000 last year. So look at the bargains here. We'll tell you more about it. But 50-inch TV, watch party, thegoodyear.com. Get their experience. $2,100 once in a lifetime. When will you ever get a chance to go in a Goodyear blimp with some of your family? How about the Field of Dreams experience? $2,100 and Ford Championship Weekend, $1,100. And just a quick look over here, guys, at the mini board. A lot of action so far. The Mike Stanton back up to $600. Our friend George Evans is jumping in, bowling with Cliff Floyd. And George tells me he regularly breaks 100. So he'll be out there.
Is he on the board yet?
He's on the board here.
I got news for him.
250. His score won't be close to that.
I got news for him.
Yes, sir.
Dan Lebitard is on the board for 500 for bowling with Cliff Floyd. Yep.
We didn't get that.
Yeah.
You have inside information.
Well, we have inside information.
And you even saw Laz Diaz call timeout because of that. So put Lebitard on the board, $500 bowling with Cliff Floyd.
Sorry, George.
Cody with a big swing, and the count now 0-2.
You know, Dan Levitard, boy, if he gets a chance to bowl with Cliff Floyd, that's straight cash, homie.
0-2 in the dirt. You are so right, Tommy. Padres all-time hit leader when Tony Gwynn debuted in 1982. It's our AT&T trivia question. Who was the Padre all-time hit leader before Tony Gwynn was a Padre? Cody goes down swinging.
Now let's see. It wasn't Kurt Bavacqua.
Nate Colbert.
Good name. Cito Gaston. Ollie Brown. Gene Richard.
You know, as Paulino stands in, Gene Richard, that is a good name.
Speedy outfielder.
Yes, he was.
How about Dave Winfield?
Dave Winfield's a good call. How about the late Alan Wiggins?
Another speedster.
Paulino behind the count now 0-2. Ronnie singled back in the second. He has hits now in 10 of his last 11. A lot of pitches thrown by this lefty. He has thrown 80. Volstad a little more manageable with his pitch count at 62. On the ground, Cabrera. On to first. We'll update you on the mini board and the big board, give you those phone numbers and the website, our Fox Sports Florida Fantasy Auction.
And Girls Clubs of Broward County. Nancy Olson, Executive Director of Marlins Community Foundation, to my right. And Matt, you wanted to say some words here.
I did, Craig. Well, we have a special presentation that we'd like to present to Nancy Olson for all her hard work and dedication to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Broward County. And if I can just take a quick second. On behalf of the Boys and Girls Clubs, presented to Nancy Olson for her dedication, commitment, and love for the children of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Broward County. Nancy's involvement over the past decade has made the world a better place for all our children to live. A true inspiration and role model for all our youth. We love you.
Turn that around for the camera. Nancy, as the camera looks at it,
That means a lot to me. In 1997, Major League Baseball made a decision to adopt the Boys and Girls Clubs of America as their official charity. And I've done a lot of work with Matt and everybody at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Broward, as well as Dade and Palm Beach and the surrounding counties. And it is the positive place for kids. So thank you so much. It means a lot to me.
People are bidding right now on these items. As you see the ground ball for the out, Matt. Tell us, this event tonight is a big help to your organization. What does the Community Foundation do for you?
Oh, absolutely. The Florida Marlins Community Foundation, led by Nancy. Our main sponsors for our Dollars and Strikes. event that we do, and we did it last month. Primarily, they're providing an opportunity for our kids to attend the Marlins game, and for many of the kids that have gone there, it's their first time ever seeing a Major League Baseball game. So they're giving them an experience, an opportunity to enjoy a Major League game.
Thousands and thousands of dollars now every year. And events like this help raise money so the Community Foundation give it out to the charities of your choice. Thanks a lot, Matt.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations, Nancy.
Thank you.
Don't trump that.
I won't.
She's always errorless, though. Guys?
What's going on the board up there?
All
Craig?
right, yeah, let's take a look at the board. Boy, we're doing okay here. 1,100 on the Best Buy watch party. These still are major bargains. 2,600 on the road trip with the Marlins. Tommy, your golf club experience. Boy, you got 4 foursomes
Yeah,
plus
let's
the
go
foursome.
on that.
Come on.
Yeah, the clubs,
Give me a break.
The clubs alone from
The clubs,
the Palm
too.
Beach Golf
Palm
Center.
Beach Golf Center, tailor-made irons. Come on.
Len Johnson right now. Goodyear.com, 2,100. Pick out a couple. How about this? The Field of Dreams experience up to 3,200. Once in a lifetime chance for all of these. The Andre the Hawk Dawson experience includes Hall of Fame baseballs with his signature and tickets to his luncheon, which will be held in August, right around the time he goes into the Hall of Fame. The Ford Championship, we're going to tell you more in a little bit about this one. The NASCAR experience, guys, is only $1,100.
Yeah, if you're a NASCAR
amazing.
fan, if you're a NASCAR fan, you get to see up close and personal pit passes, all of that, to 3 fantastic races. Now, Tommy, I know you are a NASCAR.
Well, if you remember last year, Kevin Harvick won the Truck Series, Ford Championship, Ford 200. Then Kyle Busch took the 300, and Denny Hamlin won the 400. But the overall winner, see, it doesn't matter if you individually with Jimmy Johnson. So if you get that, you get in the pits. I mean, that's a fantastic item. That's the first time we've had a NASCAR type item.
And you get to wave the green flag for the first race. The first race on Friday, you're the person that gets to wave the green flag to start the race. And on Saturday and Sunday, you'll also be in the pits. The hospitality tent, the Ford hospitality tent. You'll be down in and meet the drivers in that weekend NASCAR event. Looks like
somebody's outbid Levitard.
Looks like George Evans has knocked Levitard off the Bowling with Cliff Floyd package.
By the way, Jimmy Johnson now with 4 consecutive Sprint Cup Series titles.
Boy, Tommy has been really freshening up, huh?
Well, you know, we haven't had a chance lately
I
to
know.
talk much NASCAR.
How about that Cody Ross experience, too, guys? 7 to 16 years old. That's going up now on the field. Day of a game with them. Come to the ballpark and watch him closely. Spend a lot of time with him all day on a game day.
See, if I have a young kid, that's outstanding.
These are we're not just throwing out once in a lifetime just because it's a good line.
How about OAR?
They really are.
That's backstage passes.
Yep, right
you
here.
get to meet and greet OAR.
And it's tomorrow night.
And
You
it's
don't have to
tomorrow
wait.
night. You get 4 tickets. You get 4 passes down on the stage and a meet and greet with OAR, and that's tomorrow night. So there you go. I mean, there's the phone number, 305-626-7218. 4 game tickets, Founder Club seats, the best seats you can get, on-field concert pass, and then a meet and greet with the band. They will autograph a CD. If you've got anything that's OAR related, they will autograph that as well. And that's on the mini board, and all you got to do is pick up the phone and call us. Chris Coughlin is there. Hey, Chris Coughlin, game used jersey is on that mini board as well. Volstad's been outstanding. We're scoreless. Just for Men Mustache and Beard. Tommy Hunt, we got ourselves a pitching duel.
Well, it's one of those things. It seems like Chris Bolstad, when he goes on the mound, he didn't get a lot of support. His last 4 losses, his club's only gotten him 7 runs, but he has been tremendous so far tonight. He just needs some runs.
He's giving the Marlins the edge. You two can keep your edge with Just for Men Mustache and Beard. Mike Stanton, a ground ball into right field. And the Marlins have their leadoff runner aboard. So Stanton is on. And on the mini board, 305-626-7218 is the number. A Mike Stanton game-used bat, autographed, and it's authenticated by Major League Baseball. Also authenticated, a game ball from the game in which he hit his first home run, a grand slam. And that is on the board, the Mike Stanton bat and ball right now at $600. And that is a very nice item. Mike has to be careful he doesn't get picked off right now. Bolstad trying to bunt. Pops it up, and Torey Alba catches it. And the Marlins have not done the little things right in this ball game offensively.
A couple of things. When you get in a game against a team who plays very good little ball, and when you're in a tie game, you've got to do those little things. So Chris not happy with himself popping up that bunt attempt.
So Stanton still at first, and up comes Coghlan. Chris struck out in the first, walked in the third, and then he got picked off. Padres don't have a run. They have 4 hits. The Marlins don't have a run. They have 5 hits. Both teams have left 4 on.
And the thing you don't want to do is get into that Padre bullpen. Padre bullpen collectively has an ERA of 2.55. In comparison, the Marlins bullpen 4.80.
All right, let's do our trivia answer here. You're going to go.
I'm going to go Winfield. Yeah,
right. I'll go Nate Colbert just for kicks.
All right.
AT&T trivia question: all-time Padre hit leader before his dad came on the scene. Flip it. Flip it good. And you're right.
Winning. Hall of Famer Dave Winfield. You can picture him getting hits and rounding the bases in those yellow and brown uniforms.
Every now and then the Padres will have a throwback night, and it's mind-numbing to think that those were their uniform and team colors for so long.
I love it when they have Military Day.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
In San Diego, it's such a great military town. They wear the camouflage jerseys on Sundays.
Hey, guys, I'll never forget, as a kid, the first Major League ball I ever got at a game was in San Diego. We went on a California trip. The Mets were playing the Padres. Winfield was on the team. I think it was 76. John DeMott, I believe, who used to do he was a sportscaster.
He's a PA announcer.
He was a PA announcer, right?
Yes, he
was. At the old Murph. I think it was San Diego Stadium at the time. And Del Unser, you met that at a big crowd, 7,000 people. Did you play with Del, Tommy?
I did. He was a teammate for a couple of years.
Left-handed hitter.
Yes.
Hits one down the third base line. I'm running after it. There was only about 6,000 people, and nobody was there. I go to the seat. I hold the ball up, and a little kid was running after me. It was not on television, but I still have the ball to this day. You'll never forget.
A Del Unser ball, really?
Yeah, from Del Unser. And you put it on there. By the way, kids, if you get a ball at the game, put it on a piece of paper or on the ball, who hit it, the date, and keep it.
By the way,
you'll enjoy that.
By the way, Craig, Kelly is right behind you, and Kelly is.
There's Kelly.
Mike Stanton bat. See, Stan gets a hit, and his back goes up to 6
goes up. I like that.
I like the math.
I tell you what, if Mike goes deep tonight, that thing's going to really skyrocket.
Marlins have to like this. Coghlan and Stanton aboard, and Gabby, their hottest hitter, up. And he takes outside. And then you've got Hanley to follow. Is this the inning that the Marlins finally break through against Clayton Richard?
Well, the last few innings, they've really made him throw a lot of pitches. He's closing in on 90.
He's walked Coghlan twice. Gabby drives it to right field. Venable there makes the catch. And the Marlins will hope for Hanley Ramirez, who has a pair of line drives hit. Gabby hit that ball well. Tommy Hutton is our NASCAR expert. And the Ford Championships are in November. You get VIP pre-race access. I told you for the first race you get to wave the green flag for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Ford 200.
And that's on Friday.
Yeah, and on Saturday you've got the Nationwide Series Ford 300 meet and greets with Ford racing representatives and drivers.
It's 3 days of racing. It's not just one day.
And, Tommy, we've got 2 nights at the Intercontinental as well. So, there you go. Continental breakfast at the Intercontinental.
I don't think people understand. You know, with my interest in really not getting an opportunity to go to a lot of NASCAR, but for a real NASCAR fan, this is a fantastic package.
You get a guided garage tour as well in the Ford garage. And for the big race on Sunday, you're in the pits for the
Ford 300
for the pre-race ceremonies. That's the Sunday Sprint Cup Series race. You get driver introductions. You're down for the flyover, and you're in the hospitality suite, so you're going to eat all you can on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Padre infield coming in for a confab here.
Well, they're trying to figure out how to get Hanley Ramirez out, and this is a key situation because this time Hanley's got a man in scoring position and another runner over at first base.
Hanley has 2 line drive singles. They both have been in the hole between the shortstop Everett Cabrera and the third baseman Chase Headley. And that's outside, and it's 2-1. Clayton Richards' pitch count here at the bottom of the 5th is up in the 90s, 93. Two-1 coming. Hanley to left field. Hairston makes the catch. That would be Scott in left. Marlins leave 2 more. We are still scoreless. Fantasy Auction brought to you by Tommy Bahama and your South Florida Ford dealers. A look from the Goodyear Blimp. Let's check in with Craig Minervini.
Rich, I'm with Rochelle Williams here, the scholarship winner for the RBI program here in South Florida, along with Chantel and Chantanese. I love that name. We talk about the people, again, who are benefactors and the RBI program. The Marlins Community Foundation gives lots of money to every year to help programs and help kids get on the field, play baseball, softball, many other things. Tell me about, first of all, the scholarship winner. Very impressive, Rochelle.
Thank you.
Tell me about your softball play.
Well, it's a very good program. We all have fun, play games, compete against each other, and do very well.
What part does it play in your life? And what if you didn't have the RBI program?
Okay, well, softball is basically part of my whole life. I love softball. I've been playing sports since I was young, and RBI helped me bring out the softball in me.
Is there a college scholarship in the offing, perhaps, down the line? Yes?
Yes. Well, I'm trying to play for FIU softball team. I really would like that.
All right. You have something, maybe you got a shot there?
Oh, well, thank you to my mom, Shauna.
Well, you get the word out. Maybe the coach is watching. Tell me, you girls, the RBI program you guys play, do you both play softball?
Yes.
What does it mean for you? What role does it play in your life? If you didn't have it, what would that be like?
Well, that helped me stay dedicated and focused on my goals.
Yeah.
That's
if it wasn't for softball, who knows where we would be? Might be killed, on the streets doing something. So this really helps us, to stay, focused, teamwork, stay with people and play around, have fun.
You have a good time.
Yeah.
What position do you guys play?
Third.
Pitcher, and you're an outfielder?
I play first, second, and shortstop.
All right, well, congratulations, all three of you, for coming on with us. And again, your money, your contribution, your bidding here helps. Even if you don't get it, you might raise the price and get a great prize as well, along with helping out people just like this. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, KPMG is the national sponsor for the RBI program in Major League Baseball. And two softball players from the Marlins team both got $20,000 college scholarships. So that's pretty cool stuff. You saw the phone bank there.
I love the testimonials. In this night that we do this auction, I love seeing that the money goes to such great causes and helping young people.
And you could call and talk to a mermaid. Or a manatee.
Or Billy.
There you go. 626-7218-305 is the number. We take phone calls from all over. And log on to marlins.com/fantasy for a description of the items that you're bidding on. Adrian Gonzalez takes a breaking ball down low, and it's 1-1. Chris Bolstad and Clayton Richard have been matching zeros for the first 5 innings. Gonzalez singled back up the box in the 4th. And Hanley has kind of shifted back over where he hit it. That one is sprayed right to Cantu. You alluded to the shift, Tommy. The Marlins don't employ the full one, and it pays off. Let's go back down to Craig.
Hey, guys, I want to talk right now about the Best Buy watch party here, because this is really ridiculous. $1,100, Amy Winties. Why? Because, well, you get a 50-inch Panasonic 720p HD TV courtesy of Best Buy Margate, and we have an update now. Amy Ventus now. Catering for 20 gourmet creations. Frank Ford will be there for a watch party. We'll air it on Marlins Live. Billy the Marlin, the Marlins Mermaids. A shout-out, of course, from Tommy and Rich during the game of the watch party. They'll say hi to you when you're watching, and hi to your entire group. Marlins promotional items to decorate the party. Also an opportunity to have inflatables outside of the building if applicable. But again, you get the TV and the catering for 20. And we're not talking hot dogs and hamburgers here. Gourmet creations and event planners bringing that to you. And Frank Ford alone is worth probably $1,100.
And Tommy's golf just went up to $1,300.
Yes.
That is Kelly Schnackenberg in doing the Carol Merrill roll and in doing a nice job of it. That's another tradition here. It's Kelly working the big board.
Yeah, and always doing a terrific job.
There's the phone number, 305-626-7218. Karen Deary, all decked out in their Tommy Bahama stuff.
Come on, girls, wave. Okay. Come on, yeah.
Photo opportunity. 1-2 the count to Scott Hairston. Volstad has been economical. Pitch number 86 in the dirt. Chris looking for win number 5. This is start number 15. His 2-2 coming. He misses outside. This is the type of ball game the San Diego Padres like. They are the best, one of the best, in one-run games. 16-10 in one-run games. And that's one area where the Marlins have struggled. That's a strike on the outside corner. Hairston turns around, and he has words with Laz Diaz. more heated words. Bud Black coming out to rescue his player, Chris Bolstad. 6 scoreless innings.
That bat a little higher in a level, so you can bunt down at the ball instead of bunting up at the ball. You bunt up at the ball, chances of doing this, that's what's going to happen.
That was your Frostproof Coors Light freeze cam. Beach Zone, that's all part of the auction tonight. Someone has bid on that area. And from the blimp, oh look, you have the Beach Zone. Jorge Cantu coming to the plate. Marlins and the Padres still scoreless. Bud Black was able to rescue his left fielder, Scott Hairston.
We were curious to see if he would go back out there if he'd gotten thrown from the game, but he's out there. So he didn't say the magic word to Laz Diaz.
What's the magic word, Tommy? Richard misses outside. Clayton Richard, for a guy that is throwing a shutout, has not had the best of control. And a strike to Cantu. It's 3-1. He's got 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. Actually, 5 strikeouts. Another walk. Our South Florida Ford Spotlight. Tommy, last year on our fantasy auction, it was extra innings, and it was Jorge Cantu who ended it. Emilio Bonifacio racing around third against the Baltimore Orioles. The ball came loose. Bonifacio scored, and the Marlins had a walk-off win. For our last year fantasy auction, it kind of feels like we're headed in that direction with this one. In a scoreless ball game in the bottom of the 6th. So another leadoff runner is aboard. 3rd time tonight. A couple natives of Mexico over there at first base.
Yeah, and the Marlins haven't been able to capitalize on the walks. That was the 4th walk for Richard.
Ugla takes a strike. Dan is flying to left and flying to right. There's Richard in his breakdown. You got Clayton Richard. We've talked about his University of Michigan background. He was a backup quarterback for Michigan. Did see some playing time for the Wolverines. Back in the, I think it was the 70s, there was a guy, Rick Leach, who ended up with the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, a little bit with the Blue Jays, left-handed hitter, an outfielder.
Of course, they didn't throw as much back when Bo was there. He was merely handing off, ran a little option.
Yeah.
The fastball misses outside.
I have a feeling that as we go on in this game, the activity on the board is going to pick up as the Marlins offense picks up.
That's what usually happens in these auctions as you get into the 6th, 7th, 8th inning. As we get closer to closing time, people start calling and bidding, and the items start going up. Ugla takes inside. We haven't talked much about the Chris Coughlin game-used jersey that you get. Cogs will autograph it for you. There's Edward Mujica. The Cody Ross experience, where you can follow Cody around, batting practice, clubhouse, dugout. Ugla cut at a 3-1 pitch. And now Richard's got the count at 3-2. You ride the Goodyear blimp with tonight's starter, Chris Volstad.
I'm in the Goodyear blimp here. Rich, you've been up in this blimp.
I have.
How did you fit in this small
How's Chris going to fit in that?
Go right out to Pompano. They've got it out there for you.
You know what? We tried to do 2 or 3 pregame shows live in the blimp, and the weather got us each time, and I never got to go up there. Even though the pilot was from Syracuse University.
The pilot was from Syracuse.
That's right. Richard, I think his name is. So maybe one of these days we'll get to go up there. But I know it really is. I mean, you talk about once in a lifetime. That view, Rich, must have been amazing when you went up, huh?
It is. You go up, and the best part is the Goodyear pilots say, where do you want to go? And you can go anywhere you want in South Florida.
Fits about 6, up to 6 maybe?
Yeah,
5?
about 6 people. Ugla sends it out to center. Gwynn is under it, makes the catch. And also, with that, you get a set of Goodyear radial tires. Our good friend John Bolton at Goodyear has donated a set of Goodyear tires and the Whole Food basket that Craig is eyeing right there. That's $300 worth of stuff from Whole Foods Market, Coral Springs. It's like you got a little wine in there.
Always good stuff at Whole Foods.
Marty and Jose are the guys up in the Goodyear blimp tonight. There it is, the blimp ride, the Whole Food picnic basket, the Goodyear radials, and a Marlins Live feature. We had a misadventures of Logan and JJ in the blimp one year. The blimp ride was fine.
I think
the misadventures were.
Yeah, didn't
were
they have some bad weather?
They had a little bit.
Yeah.
That was the misadventure part.
That was the misadventure part. Well, now I feel better. If JJ can get in that thing, we know that there's room for Chris Volstad.
Yes. Cody Ross, a swing and a miss. He doubled and struck out. The Cody Ross experience, you get to play catch on the field, hit in the cages with Cody. It's for ages 7 to 16. One of the of all the major league players that you'll be around throughout a season, Cody Ross is one of the best to be around. If you're a kid, man, just to spend the time with Cody, priceless. Up the middle, not again. Cabrera turns it. Wow. And the Marlins hit into another sharp double play. 4-6-3. He hit it on the button, but Clayton Richard escapes and survives the 6th inning. It's a nice turn by Cabrera. On July 25th, Braves and Marlins, a Sunday afternoon, 25 Beach Zone tickets. Then you go into the clubhouse after the game and you get dressed. And your softball or baseball team comes out. Cookie Rojas is your coach. Tony Taylor will be there as well. And you get to play baseball on a big league diamond. You'll also get some baseball movies. But how many chances will you get to play a game on a big league diamond? Your names will be in the locker room, up on the lockers. You'll be on Marlin Vision as well. If you've got a Little League team out there, if you're a parent, you've got Little League team. If you want to play kickball, if you've got a softball team, or if you just want to play a baseball game. What a great opportunity. 305-626-7218.
That's
and
for 25 people.
25 people. You get an all-you-can-eat buffet at the Beach Zone during the game. So Beach Zone will be yours. All-you-can-eat buffet. Then you get to go to the locker room, and everybody in your party gets to play on the field. Craig?
Yeah, you mentioned, too, you have a kickball team. There are kickball leagues. I think A.J. Speaks, in fact, our producer, is the coach. Can you have a kickball team somewhere in South Florida? And I think he told me they won the championship last year. The other team was quite deflated, by the way. The Carnival Cruise Vacation, also at $2,000. Now, this is not just an ocean view. Think about this. 7 days, ocean view cabin. And you also get the Tommy Bahama Shirt of the Month Club certificate. Rich, if I'm not mistaken, that's a shirt per month.
Yeah.
Right? One per month.
Yeah, it's called the Shirt of the Month Club.
That's 12 months, right?
Every month for a year, you go into Tommy Bahama and pick out any shirt you want.
Now, that alone is easily, you can go well over $100 and up, of course, for that kind of a shirt. And this is $2,000 and includes the cruise as well for 7 days and transportation, the car service from the port of to the port of Miami and back, or to the port of Everglades on a Carnival 7-day sailing. There are a couple of exclusions, nothing major though. Cruise for two, Ocean View Cabin, and the Tommy Bahama Shirt of the Month Club certificate, just $2,000 right now. Jay is getting ready for his trip.
Yeah, so, I think Jay's going to have some company here pretty soon.
He may.
305-626. And the final number, 305-626-7218 is the number to call. Chase Headley has led off the inning with a base hit. And now Chris Volstad goes to work on Will Venable as both the Padres and the Marlins try to manufacture a run here. Scoreless in the 7th inning. Now Venable is barking with Laz Diaz. A much more cordial conversation than the one with Scott Hairston.
Second time tonight that the Padres have had that leadoff man on. The Marlins have had the leadoff man on numerous times.
Volstad has done a nice job tonight of keeping the running game at bay. There's Tim Wood in the bullpen.
I think part of that's because he's been quick to first base with the move showing the Padres that he does have a quick move.
Volstad at 95 pitches, and he misses outside. Venable, then Torrealba. For the Padres, who are at 42-30, 12 over.
Pretty good road record, 19-14, so 5 games over 500 on the road. Away from Petco.
Yeah, the Marlins are facing these guys and the Rays. Runner goes, swinging a foul. The Rays have the best road record in all of baseball. The Padres have the best road record in the National League. Headley has 9 stolen bases. It's kind of like playing the Mets. Everybody will run. Ball's hit well. Right field and deep. Back goes Cody to the wall, and it's gone. Will Venable, for just the 7th time this year, has homered. A 2-run shot against Volstad here in the 7th. And the Padres score first in this one.
Well, we've talked about the Padres not being a big bopper type team. Most of their home runs come from Adrian Gonzalez. He has 16. But all of a sudden, Will Venable hit a no-doubter. Number 7 on the year for him. And, you know, in a nothing game, all of a sudden 2 runs. It looks like a very huge margin.
Here's Torrealba, and Volstad misses low and outside. Especially with the numbers that we've been talking about, the Padres bullpen with a 2.54 ERA, lowest in the major leagues.
You know, and it's something, the home run ball is something that Chris Volstad's done well as far as not allowing the long ball as much as he did last year. That was just number 8 off of him this year.
29 of them last year. That's hit hard to left, and the Padres have barreled up 3 of them now. And we'll see how the Marlins react with Wood ready in the bullpen. All right, we've told you all about the big board items. The mini board items, again, a Mike Stanton game-used bat, autographed and Major League authenticated Mike Stanton game-used bat. Same with the Coghlan game-worn jersey, and Cogs will sign it as well. The Cody Ross experience. Play Ball Kids experience is a great one. Bowling with Cliff Floyd. We'll check in on that one. And, of course, the Super Saturday package, the OAR concert tomorrow night. There's the phone number. Chris Coghlan and Cody Ross. All can be yours. Chris Volstad coming out. Here's our Marooney. Call to the pen.
When you need a car, a truck, or van, who you gonna call? Marooney!
Venable 2-run homer, and Tim Wood comes in with Yorvik Torrealba at first and Everett Cabrera at the plate.
And a pinch hitter waiting in the on-deck circle.
There's the bunt by Cabrera. Better hurry. He's got good speed. Cantu throws him out. And we check in with Craig Minervini. Craig?
Hi, Rich. Thanks very much. The mini board here, 305-626-7218. I want to talk here about the Super Saturday package with OAR. That's tomorrow night. It's only at $300 right now. 4 tickets in the Founders Club to see the game. And this is one you don't have to wait months and months or set it up. Tomorrow night. So make your plans tonight. With us tomorrow night. Field passes. 4 tickets to see the game, of course, Founders Club. 4 pit passes to see the concert live from the field. Plus, you'll meet and greet with the band. And you get a signed album. And guess who's pitching tomorrow night? Probably an all-star once again in Josh Johnson. That's tomorrow night. Right now at only $300 with Ryan. Joining me from Teach for America, this is Jennifer Doobie-Dee, along with Allie. She is a teacher. She's the director of the program. One of the other recipients from the Florida Marlins Community Foundation, which each year sponsors 5 teachers in Miami-Dade County, and it means a lot for Teach for America.
Yes, it does. They sponsor one of our schools entirely, Lenora B. Smith Elementary School, and it enables us to bring teachers into low-income schools to raise achievement in partnership with Miami-Dade County Public Schools.
Financially, it helps out Teach for America.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. They enable us to place teachers into our schools.
$25,000 donation from the Florida Marlins Community Foundation, folks. They can't do it without you. So bidding on these tonight. If you get one or even raise up the auction price for somebody, you may get a terrific prize, probably undervalued, by the way. But most importantly, you're going to have some fun, and you'll make a difference in the community. Allie, you're a teacher, and you know what that's all about.
Yeah, I am. I teach kindergarten on 151st, and it's so exciting to see the Marlins helping us out. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You guys have been waiting all night to chat with us for a few minutes here. Good to see you again, and I know you're helping the cause here. What's new with Teach for America these days?
Well, we're actually expanding. So we're growing our core from bringing 50 teachers this year to this year we're going to bring 100 new teachers.
Good stuff. Thanks, ladies. All right, guys.
Good stuff down there, Craig. And you can see Kelly working away on both the big board and the little board. The numbers keep going up, and that's good news. Nice. The Cody Ross is up to $1,000.
Things going up on that little board.
Tim Wood just misses outside.
Yeah, pinch hitter Oscar Salazar pinch hitting for the left-hander Clayton Richards. So the Marlins now will get a taste of that Padre bullpen.
Which this year has not been a real good taste for opponents.
You know, to me now, the concerning thing with Chris Volstad is all these starts, 15 starts now, and only 2 times has he gone 7 innings or more. He pitched a complete game, a 9-inning game, and a 7-inning game, both against Washington.
Soft single into center field. It's Torrealba coming home. Ross's throw is cut, and look at the speed. Safe at second is Salazar. Ugla thought he got him, and that maybe he slid across the bag, because Dan is arguing it right now with the second base umpire, Wally Bell.
Well, again, the Padres, you're seeing it in this inning, doing the little things. They got the sac bunt from Cabrera after the 2-run homer, and then a single. They're getting good base running here. Torrealba comes in to score, and then how about Salazar? The ball cut off, but Salazar never hesitated as he rounded first base. He was just challenging the Marlins to cut that ball off and try to make a play.
Oh, there's a look at that play at second. And you can see Ugla thought he was out from the get-go. Edwin Rodriguez went out to argue, but that's not going to be reversed. Here's a better angle. Let's take a look. There's the slide. Tough to tell if he took his foot off the base. He obviously took his foot off the base. Was Ugla's glove still on him when he switched from foot to hand? Regardless, Tim Wood needs to get outs, and quick.
Yeah, that run charged to Chris Volstad, so his line now is complete on the evening.
And Tony Gwynn and Jerry Hairston are the guys you want to get out here if you're Wood, because you don't want to face Adrian Gonzalez in this inning.
On the other hand, frustrating for Chris. Just didn't get any offensive support tonight, and that's been a problem all year.
And Tankersley getting loose and getting ready, I'm sure, for Gonzalez. Hanley in the hole. Fires over to first. In time. Tommy, have you been to the Bahamas lately?
Not in a while. I haven't been there in a while. I know I've been to Treasure Key. I've been there.
Oh, have you?
Which is one of the...
Well, tell us about it. 3 nights for
look
2.
At it. All you got to do is look at the hammock. Look at the water.
You get a Sky Limo airfare over. You do not. She may make a special guest appearance on your vacation, but we can't promise anything. But you get rum, and you get that shirt a month club.
Hey, to me, the shirt a month club is the whole ticket right there.
Yeah, the shirt of the month club at Tommy Bahama. Every month you go in, you get whatever Tommy Bahama shirt you want, and that's included in the trip to Treasure Key. And you get the rum, which is important. Well, the Marlins down 3-0. There's a look at the all the shirts you can choose from.
Now, I know our producer could tell us a little bit more. I am not a fisherman, but tremendous fishing over there in Treasure Key, too.
Fantastic, John Solster says. Offshore fishing especially. High pop-up. Ugla back behind second. And he's there and he makes the catch. But the Padres on a blast by Will Venables. 3-0. Tires help you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com. Let's check in with Craig Minervini. Craig?
Hey, we got an add-on I'm going to tell you about in the golf package in just a second. First, though, I want to talk about the Hawk Dawson experience at the Mahogany Grill, $1,600. That's the Hawk's restaurant, the Great Hawk, the Hall of Famer. Also, 4 autographed Hall of Fame balls made special for the Hawk. In fact, I think we've got them over here. Mike, come on over here. Here's the a package of what it looks like. Special Hall of Fame baseballs with the Hawks name on it and the official Hall of Fame logo. And the date coming up, July 25th, 2010. The year he's going into the Hall. 4 tickets also to the Dawson Tribute Luncheon, which is upcoming in early August in Miami at the Four Seasons Hotel. And a Hall of Fame magazine autographed by Dawson. And 4 tickets to the Owner's Suite for 2010 Marlins game. Passes the Marlins batting practice for the game as well. Once in a lifetime, Andre Dawson is going to the Hall this July, and you can sort of celebrate with him and have a commemorative baseball as well at the Mahogany Grill. It's at $1,600. Also, the golf package. Kelly, what was that add-on again?
You'll be able to golf with Jeff Conine in the Marlins Foundation Celebrity Golf Classic in February of 2011.
Aha!
You know how great that is, guys.
Yeah.
So that's your package, Tommy.
Yeah, that's a great event,
throw-in
too.
Niner as well, and the 4 courses as well. 2-night stay at the end of the 5th in Naples. The set of irons alone from our friends at the Palm Beach County Golf Center. Tailor-made set of irons. Wow. Golf balls.
Good friend of yours up there, Craig, Larry Sugarman.
Former terrific sportscaster. And has a great shop there for golf items.
A drive to left that is caught by Scott Hairston off the bat of Ronnie Paulino. In that golf package, it's obviously you get to play with Tommy at the Parkland Golf Club, but the 4 foursomes on the WCI Golf Trail, Tiburon Golf Club, the Colony Golf Club, Hammock Bay Golf Club, and Raptor Bay Golf Club. You get 4 foursomes at those courses, and you get a 2-night stay at the Inn on 5th in Naples. The tailor-made set of irons, we just talked about Palm Beach Golf Center. You also get 1 puring session worth $50, 2 dozen Marlin Titleist golf balls. The honorary observer position is great. That means you're inside the ropes, and you get 2 Saturday Champions Club tickets for the 2011 Alliance Championship located at the Old Course at Broken Sound in Boca. That is in February, early February.
And so much of that, Rich, we're helped out by our good friend Dave Salerno at Parkland Golf Club.
Craig, where is that package now?
The package now is Where are we at? $1,500.
That's all?
$1,500. And I've just been told there's another add-on.
Yes.
A gift selection from the Spiegel catalog. 50,000 quality items providing service, luxury, economy. Spiegel, Chicago, Illinois, 60609.
Yeah, and the other add-on's better, I think, Craig.
Much better.
Golf with Jeff Conine at the 2011 Marlins Golf Classic. So the Marlins annual golf tournament, you will get to partner up with Jeff Conine. Luke Gregerson comes in out of the bullpen, and a nasty breaking ball gets Mike Stanton.
Well, again, we told you beforehand about this bullpen the Padres have. They have 6 relievers coming out of that bullpen that have ERAs under 3. And collectively, their bullpen ERA is 2.55.
Emilio Bonifacio is going to pinch hit for Tim Wood. Bonifacio has not seen a lot of playing time this last month with the Fish. And Gregerson misses up and in with a fastball. Yeah, this is a Padre kind of game. Low scoring, bullpens involved now as you get into the late innings. Heath Bell is their closer, but they've got a bunch of good arms that are able to deliver from the starters to Bell.
They right about Bonifacio, 0 for 7, just has not had many opportunities at all. Tough to maintain any kind of consistency. A lot of fastballs, sinking fastballs, and sliders from Gregerson. But you're absolutely right, Rich. This is a San Diego Padre type game.
One-two coming. Bonifacio rips that one foul.
Look out.
You know, so many people felt last year at the deadline that the Padres would be sellers, that Adrian Gonzalez would be gone, that Heath Bell would be gone. And now, you look at the Padres this year, they held on to those two. They're going to be buyers.
And I think they're one of the few teams. Most of the other teams that are buyers are going to be looking for bullpen help, pitching help.
Yeah, you're right.
They're one of the few teams. They're looking for offensive help.
That's a great point. I think the Giants might be one of the other few teams, though San Francisco's bullpen not as solid as San Diego's. Their rotation certainly is outstanding. Bonifacio turns on one, hits it to right, and Venable is out there. He makes the catch. The Ford Big Board update when we get back on our Fox Sports Florida Fantasy Auction.
Okay, Rich, we have a special guest. Is Kelly, you know how David Stern, the NBA commissioner, he'll take a couple after the first round? Is that what your role, DJP?
Yes.
He's going to come in for relief?
Yeah.
Well, you got an update, huh?
Yes, I got a special update on the...
Update is for it? What is it?
We are now up to $3,500 from Chadwell on the board twice tonight.
$3,500 for Chadwell from the glistening DJ Petey. I'm kind of need some glasses here. The road trip with the Marlins is up to $4,000 from Mr. Chadwell. And there it is, guys. American Airlines airfare, 2 nights at Team Hotel, Tickets to all 3 games. We'll tour D.C. I think we're going to televise it, right, guys? We'll do a little story on Marlins Live.
Absolutely.
We'll do a feature. You'll be on television. It's on September 11th. Historic day, of course, in our history.
And you
autographed baseballs from the Nationals, VIP tours. Hey, you might see Steven Strasburg pitch. You'll see the President's race. Maybe you'll see history. Maybe Teddy can finally win a race. Guys, here's good news, too. As you look at the numbers, the overall numbers here are over, we've just been told, over $65,000.
All right, we're getting there.
And then remember, you got, what, 10 minutes into the postgame?
Right, 10 minutes after the final out is when we close the bidding.
Another update.
$2,100, $2,200 just in for Treasure Cake. Thank you very much.
Now, DJ Petey,
Careful, Craig. You may take your job.
Be careful because he's a professional at this. The chest hair thing, you thought it went out maybe in the 70s, but not tonight.
No, the Cuban Elvis is back. We're taking over for the 2000s.
I like that, the Cuban Elvis.
That's a good look.
Gonzalez went around on that breaking ball, and the count is 0-2. It's an interesting matchup here. You got Taylor Tankersley in to face Adrian Gonzalez. Marlins would rather have had this matchup with the lead, but as it is, the Marlins trying to keep it at 3-0 and try to climb back in against this San Diego bullpen. Deep to center. Cody makes the catch. Hey, Craig.
Yes?
I have, earlier today we spoke with Dan Levitard.
Yes.
And he was on for Cliff Floyd. Where is that?
All right. Well, George Evans is a renowned bowler, of course, and a good friend of ours. $600.
All right.
So Lev's off the board. Is he going to?
No, put Levitard down for $700.
Levitard for $700. Okay.
Do you have authorization?
I don't know if I could do that.
To do that?
You know what? Can I just borrow your marker for 1 second, Kelly?
All right.
Oh, okay, wait, hold on a second.
I'm getting text as we speak.
I see it.
And I'm going to just make it
coming through right there.
I'm going to throw an extra
700.
Yeah.
Levitard. He wants to go bowling with Cliff Floyd. Tank comes out. Let's stay here.
700.
All right. But he wants the name of his team. He's got a softball team. Levitard does. And so the softball team is sponsoring the bid.
All right.
Roy's Crackers.
Roy's Crackers.
Roy's Crackers.
Are they still playing?
They are. They're not as good as the Atlanta Crackers. Remember, the Atlanta Crackers were a great team.
All right, sorry, George. Roy's
Crackers. Put that up there. All right, one of the charities that we support here for the Marlins Community Foundation, Teach Yourself. And here's a little bit of what they're about. Teach for America. Teach yourself. 305-626-7218 is our phone number. If you have any questions about any of the packages on the big board or the little board, log on to marlins.com/fantasy. There are details on every one of the packages, the little board and the big board. You can see that the bidding is starting to get up. And Tommy, this is the pattern that we've had whenever we've done these. We get to the later innings, and all of a sudden people who have been watching and waiting to see call in and get online. So right now, call in. If you want to get in on the bidding, now's the time to do it.
Yeah, I think that what that tells us right now, we have some experienced bidders because they're going to kind of wait till the end and then go crazy. But we like to see them get up.
I can't believe the OAR is only at $350.
That's ridiculous. That's an incredible bargain. For Founders Club, meet the band.
Yeah.
Pit seats there to watch the concert tomorrow night. And you don't have to wait, and it's Josh Johnson.
Yeah, you threw that one in, and that's right, Craig. Right? Josh Johnson's pitching tomorrow night.
How would you like the Founder Club seats for a Josh Johnson start?
And you can't watch it on television because we're not on tomorrow.
Yes, because Big Fox is in prime time tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's game is not on television. That pitch was not in the strike zone.
Jose Veras back with the club now for the second time. He was up with the Marlins 4 games earlier in the year. Went back down to New Orleans.
He's facing Scott Hairston now. Those are his numbers in New Orleans.
So Tank came in to get the lefty. Got the big lefty, Adrian Gonzalez. And speaking of lefties, the youngster made his Major League debut last night in Baltimore. James Hauser was sent back to the minor leagues, and that's why we're seeing Jose Veras here.
Soft liner, Uggla's way, and he makes the catch. Tommy, OAR. You've heard them. I know they're on your iPod. Founders Club seats for a JJ start tomorrow. You get into the on-field pit right in front of the concert, and then afterwards you get to meet and greet OAR, and they will sign CD for you.
And we had a nice chat the other night over the phone on air with lead singer Mark Roberge.
This town is one of their big hits.
Hey guys, take a look at the seats. We're talking about the seats that are near first base and third base. They angle in. There's only a few rows. You got special access to get there. We'll show you this. I've been in these seats many times. I walk around, obviously, the stadium. That's behind the plate. But, guys, let's go near the first base and third base. There is no screen in front. It is very intimate. There they are, and they're angled in. And I'm telling you, first of all, bring them in. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, right in there.
Right? There's a lot of action over there. You have a private entrance. You actually walk right by the clubhouse occasionally, and certainly in the tunnel where the players walk by. And it's a great seat on both either first base or third base. And they're seats that really, frankly, very hard to get in the Founders Club. So tomorrow night you can see JJ up close and personal and meet the band, watch the concert. And right now it's at $350. So that is one that's sure to go up.
Jose Veras needs to bring the ball up into the strike zone. That one misses down low. And Chase Headley walks. Veras has an out, but he needs another. Those are those seats.
Possibly
3-0 here in the top of the 8th.
Possibly some OAR fans there.
Runner goes. Paulino has no chance.
No chance. Unbelievable jump by Headley.
Veras did not keep him close. Will Venable, our Coors Light cold, hard blast. This was the big blow. It was a scoreless game. You saw the reaction by Volstad. Venable, full extension, off the back foot, drilled it.
Yeah, it was one of those. Chris made a mistake. He didn't make many tonight. He threw the ball well, except for that one pitch to Venable.
Roddy Paulino is on his way out to the mound. This ball game, Tommy, similar to the feel that the Marlins had in that Texas series. Although they did score runs in the Texas series, the problems that Randy St. Clair's bullpen would have, Marlins would be down by a run or two mid to late in the game, and the Marlins bullpen would give up 2-3 runs, and the Rangers bullpen wouldn't. The Rangers bullpen very, very good.
Yeah, sometimes it's easy to focus on a bullpen and say, well, they came in a tie game, they gave up the lead, things like that. But when you come into a game as this one, down 2-3 runs, then you give up more all of a sudden, and on a night when the offense isn't doing much, and then it just becomes tougher.
Veras' 2-1 pitch at the knees for a strike.
So Jose Veras recently pitching for Edwin Rodriguez in New Orleans, and now pitching for him here.
Breaking ball got him. Veras Strikes out Will Venable. Nicely done. Tankersley and Veras handle the 8th. Marlins go to work, bottom of the 8th. Ford dealers, lots of things going on. Craig, what's going on down there?
Wow, you know, you mentioned a few things on the air, and guess what? People are listening, and I think you pointed out the game's getting later, and people are jumping in. Moments ago, instant replay. Look at this. Look how quickly Kelly has to move. She goes from what? She goes back to OAR, changes to 4 digits. She's running out of ink right now in her terrific marker. And Phil Robinson, he saw those Founders Club seats, didn't he?
That's shattered. Turn the car around.
He could have went up by 100, or he didn't want a full round.
That's a
he went
big
from
hit for
350.
OAR.
That's a monster hit. That could be their next big hit, in fact. OAR, Super Saturday Package, Josh Johnson, Founders Club seats, meet the band. All tomorrow, it's up to 1,000. Look, Kelly is now moving the Mike Stanton bat up to 850, Kelly? 850. Big board. We have 3 over 4,000, several approaching 3,000, and a couple others near 2,000. Still some amazing deals. The golf club deal with Tommy, Jeff Conine. We mentioned that earlier. 4 also foursomes at great courses, WCI courses around the area. Best Buy, that includes a 50-inch television and a catered party for 20.
How about a deep drive to left center field by Coughlin, but on the track, Tony Gwynn Jr. makes the catch. Coughlin jumped on that fastball. Gwynn covers a lot of ground out there in center field. Coughlin an 0 for 2 night tonight.
And Bud Black bringing in another one of his relief arms with an ERA at 2.38 is Mike Adams. And he gets that first out, but it was a well-struck ball by Chris Coughlin. Good numbers. Look at that, 37 strikeouts, 11 walks, but opponents hitting 179 against Adams. Good live arm, good fastball, slider, mix in a couple of other pitches, but guys who throw strikes too.
Gabby Sanchez has struck out, lined out. We were impressed with the Padres when they came through in April. And watching them now and seeing that they are still in first place in the West, you start thinking about them getting into August and September. If all the arms stay healthy, they have such depth in their bullpen, Tommy, that if they needed a bat or two, they probably could part with a reliever and still be fine in the bullpen.
Oh, absolutely right. I agree with you. So Bud Black sitting in a good spot. He knows there's a lot more baseball to be played, but I'm sure he feels pretty good about his pitching.
Gabby pulls that one foul.
As you mentioned, Heath Bell, their closer, his ERA is 2.05. He has 19 saves.
Chris Denorfia is out in left field.
Yeah, double switch. He's batting in the number 9 spot.
Gabby takes a strike 3 call. A little backup slider from Mike Adams that froze him. And there are 2 outs here in the 8th. Time now for our defensive play of the game, brought to you by Home Depot. Watch this double play. Cody hits it well. Look at the turn by Cabrera.
And how about the flip by Hairston?
Yeah, Hairston. Cabrera kind of goofy foots it off the wrong foot. The Home Depot doing more on defense.
Yeah, Hairston, as he was backing up to pick that hard one hopper, almost flipped it at the same time.
You've heard the song Shattered, Turn the Car Around. That's one of OAR's big hits. It was back in 2008. This town is echoing all over Major League Baseball. Our producer John Sulzer routinely works out to that in his iPod. Hanley drills it in the center field. 3 hits for Hanley, and even his out was a loud one, a line drive out. So Hanley's got 3 hits.
11 for his last 23 now. Hanley strokes that fastball. Good extension. Didn't try to do too much with it. And you're right, even his out in the 5th inning. He hit well to left field.
Cantu. Adams misses down low. Adams has given up just 1 home run in 34 innings in 34 games. That's how good he's been.
Yeah, you combine a lot of things. Obviously, they pitch well on the road and at home, but when they're at home, they have a very friendly pitching ballpark.
Tapper on the first in time. Headley makes a nice play.
And they make the plays.
Bounces out. All right, more action on the big board when we return. Your savings at GoodyearTires.com. Let's check back in with Craig Minervini. Craig?
From the mini board, want to show you a couple of the items. The Mike Stanton bat autographed, and here it is, authenticated. It's an authenticated bat and a game-used ball from June 18th when he hit his first Major League homer, which happened to be, of course, Grand Slam. We also have the Coughlin autographed jersey right here, the Cody Ross Experience, ages 7 to 16. And then I want to talk about the Play Ball Kids Experience, and here it is right now at 550 on the field for the national anthem. 4 batters box tickets. How about this? you get to drop the rosin bag on the mound and start the game with saying you start the game with Let's Play Ball from the field for the home crowd of your ages 7 to 16. Once in a lifetime play ball kids experience right now at 550.
Yorvie Torrealba, Everett Cabrera, and then Chris DeNorfia. As Jose Veras continues on for the Marlins. Torrealba has a base hit, and now he's got a line drive out. Our Jaguar performance of the night, with the Padres up 3-0. How about the performances tonight of Kelly Snackenberg and Karen Deary? Look at him go, Tommy.
I never have seen Kelly move that fast before. Tremendous.
Well, she's raising money for a great cause, so she's got to move fast.
Yeah. Great form. Look at Karen. Great form, call.
Hey, it's 3-0 in the ninth. And still working hard. Remember, if you're on the board right now or you're thinking about making a bid, the bidding closes at 10 minutes after final out. So 10 minutes after final out, we will have a countdown clock for you. There are people in the area. We had a dinner as well, and they're still in that area. There are people in the area that have bid, and they'll be there watching and bidding. And that last 10 minutes will be a real flurry of activity. Everett Cabrera is up. He is 0 for 2. If there was a package that Tommy Hutton were to bid on, aside from golf with yourself.
Well, the obvious one would be the NASCAR. But if we eliminated that, I would. I think for a father with his young son or daughter, the Cody Ross experience, to be able to hang out with Cody before a game, batting practice, do all those things, I think that would be neat.
Here's a 3-1 pitch coming. If I had I've got 2 girls, and so one plays tennis, and one is a dancer and a soccer player. So it doesn't apply. But if I had a little league team or a softball team,
I know where you're going with this.
The Field of Dreams experience, a chance to play on a major league field. If you have a son or a daughter that has a softball team or a baseball team, or even if you've got friends and you guys, if you want to do that, reunion type deal and get some revenge on a team that beat you 10 years ago, here's a chance to do it. Tony Taylor and Cookie Rojas will be coaching the teams. You'll get to sit in the dugout after you go to the clubhouse, and then you get the field yourself for a game. Now, it doesn't start there. You get 25 beach zone tickets to the Marlins and the Braves game. So you and 25 others, or 24 others, let me do the math, will be at the beach zone, watch the game. After the game, then you'll go into the clubhouse. Clubhouse will be all set up for you. All the names of the players will be up on the lockers. You'll change, and then you'll take the field. Marlins Vision will put you up on the big scoreboard as well. And it's at $4,000 right now. I mean, think about it. If you split it with your friend's team, if you find another team of 12,
that's a couple of grand right there.
Well, we're expecting it to go up a little more.
I feel better. I see the golf outings going up a little bit, so keep it going.
The obvious add-on there is some sweater vests. I mean, I can't believe we didn't think of that.
Yeah, being in Baltimore where it was 98 and then coming home, I can't think sweater vest right now.
Guys, we have an add-on.
Uh-oh.
Can you hit our add-on music? Perfect. All right, it's the Tommy Bahama Treasure Key trip we've been talking about. The add-on is 2 tickets to the Fish and Chips Casino Party with the Marlins on September 2nd. That's one of our fun events during the baseball season. A lot of players there. You get some chips, raise some money. So that's an add-on to this Tommy Bahama Treasure Key trip, which is at $3,000. Chadwell includes a 3-night stay for 2 people in a 1-bedroom suite at Treasure Key Hotel Resort. Round-trip airfare, courtesy limo transportation as well, and the Tommy Bahama Shirt of the Month Club certificate, plus a case of Tommy Bahama Ultra Premium Rum.
That was an ultra-premium throw from Ronnie Paulino, throwing out Everett Cabrera, trying to steal second base.
And also an ultra-premium call by calling for the pitch out. And guessing correctly, with Cabrera going. He got a pretty good jump.
Fox
but the
Exmo
throw was just on target. That's nice.
See, if you're in on that Field of Dreams, that could be you sliding into second base on this diamond.
And seeing it on the big screen.
Seeing it on the big screen. If you ever sat at home and said to yourself, I could hit a ball out of that ballpark. Well, now's your chance. You can find out. You could, I mean, if you just want to take batting practice for the afternoon with some of your buddies.
Don't even have to play a game.
Yeah.
That's right. You can just do that.
Available for birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, wedding receptions. There's Heath Bell, the big closer of the Padres. Edward Mujica is up as well. Two coming. Good pitch. Veras gets Denorfia. Jose Veras with a nice effort. The phones ringing, but almost closed. We've hit the bottom of the ninth. 305-626-7218. Get your bid in now. Corona and Lime. Enjoy a Corona today. And by Dodge Ram Trucks, award-winning Ram trucks, plus the new heavy duty, make it one of the most powerful lineups in Ram history. Our thanks to Goodyear tonight for our aerial coverage. Makers of the Fuel Max tires, Jose and Marty, are up there. The Goodyear Get There experience is one of our big board items, with the blimp ride with Chris Volstad, the radial tires, and the Whole Foods Coral Springs Market gift basket. Dan Uggla takes a hack at a high fastball from Heath Bell on the first pitch. And that is Denorfia who comes in and makes the catch. So one pitch, one out from Heath Bell. Our Toyota trend. The Marlins hitting .271 in June, third in the National League. The Mets and the Braves. But as the Padres have shown, if you have a good starter, and they got a great start from Clayton Richard, and you have a lights-out bullpen, and so far the pen has been lights out, it's tough to hit. And all you have to do is scratch out a couple of runs. There's a strike to Cody Ross. Craig, you have an update for Tommy?
The golf has gone to $3,000. $3,000, guys.
That's good.
From a... The problem is, they don't want to admit it. I don't know why.
They don't want to admit that they have to play with me.
It is the Riddler.
Is it Mrs. Hutt?
Is it the Riddler?
Hey, we'll have a good day. We have lunch.
Yes,
at Parkland Country Club.
Is it George Gershwin? What was his name?
No.
The Riddler.
The Riddler?
No, that's the composer. Who am I thinking of? George. What was his name?
Frank Gorshin.
Frank Gorshin.
Frank Gorshin. Frank Gorshin. Or the guy from the commercials who wears the question marks. You know that guy?
I do not.
There's a whole...
It's not Cesar Romero, I know that. Or Burgess Meredith. Cody Ross takes outside. And Julie Newmar right now is putting up our signs. Cody Ross with
Julie
a count
Newman.
1-1. And the blimp ride is going up.
Yep. This is the point where you want to have several markers.
This is the point if you've got an item that you're bidding on that you want to get in. As we told you, there's a 10-minute clock that will start on the post-game show. And when it's up, it's up. The road trip hasn't moved in a while. It's still at $4,000. That might be a chance to go see Steven Strasburg in Washington, D.C.
How about the Fox Sports Suite experience? I don't think we talked too much about this. This is a catered suite for 12, and just as I talk about it, it's going up. A catered suite for 12. July 20th, Marlins Rockies, a dozen baseballs, a visit by Hall of Famers Andre Dawson and Tony Perez, and I'm sure they'll be willing to sign a baseball or two when they come into your suite. Live in-game segment with Jeff Conine and your group. Press box tour for 4. Visit Ford, the Fox Sports Florida booth to meet Tommy and Rich, and go over to the radio booth, say hi to Glenn and Dave. It's all part of the Fox Sports Florida experience, which is now at $3,000 from our friends at Fish Stripes.
FishStripes.com, one of the good Marlin websites.
Well, the Marlins right now, baseball-wise, on the verge of being shut out for the third time this year.
Ronnie Paulino against Heath Bell. It's ironic that the guy that for, 15 years that used to close the door for the Padres used to come into Hell's Bells, and the person that replaces him is Heath Bell. And Heath Bell has pitched better than Trevor Hoffman.
Well, he did last year, 42 saves for Heath Bell last year. He's on pace to do that again. If he closes this one out, it'll be number 20.
An all-star last year.
And he's on pace to be an all-star again.
Ronnie Paulino punched one into right field. The Marlins still alive. 2 hits for Paulino. And Mike Stanton's coming up.
Nothing real tricky about Heath Bell. He comes at you with hard fastballs and sliders.
So it's Stanton against Bell. And he takes a fastball for a strike. Heath Bell, one of those guys that has always been a good bullpen guy, was an 8th inning man. Really was Hoffman's setup man before Hoffman left for Milwaukee. And he slid right into the role. On the little board, a Mike Stanton bat can be yours. 305-626-7218. The Chris Coughlin autographed jersey. Stanton batted 1,000. Jersey's only $550 right now.
National League Rookie of the Year last year.
Bell misses outside, and Stanton works the count to 2-1.
Talking about Bell, I guarantee he learned a lot from Trevor Hoffman.
Wes Helms is on deck. Bell misses outside. He's gone 3-1 now.
This is where you'd like to see Mike Stanton have a nice aggressive swing on a fastball. Pretty good chance he's going to get a fastball.
It's out. Stanton's aboard. And so Torrealba is out to talk to Bell. News around baseball. For the 4th time this year, there's been a no-hitter thrown. Edwin Jackson throws 149 pitches, walks 8, strikes out 6, and Arizona beats the Rays 1-0, a no-hitter in St. Pete.
Now remember, it was Dallas Brayton who threw the perfect game against Tampa Bay.
Helms takes a fastball for a strike.
That's A.J. Burnett-like no-hitter.
So the Rays, a good offensive team, essentially have been no-hit 3 times in the last about the span of a year, right? Because Burley last year a perfect game,
yep.
Braden a perfect game this year, and now Jackson a no-hitter. And Bell is out in front of Helms right now, 0-2.
Now again, Bell's been stingy in allowing the long ball and giving up just 1 home run this year.
I have a feeling the folks in the phone room are about to get buried by calls. 0-2 coming. It's up. Helms trying to stay alive. Marlins.
Then again, a 3-run homer would tie things. And remember what happened last year.
That's right. Last year it was the Marlins who blew the save in the 9th to the Orioles and then won it in extra innings. Fastball struck him out. Heath Bell gets the save, and the Marlins get shut out by Clayton Richard and 3 San Diego Padre relievers. We will start the 10-minute clock on our Fox Sports Florida Fantasy Auction when we return for Marlins Live. 3:05.